This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
Well, the audio took too long to kick in, so had to hit the other button. I'm not doing too bad. I got the good old trolls on me again, but you know how it goes. Trolls. That's all they do. How are you doing, Brandy? Oh, and here's my freak hat that I had from a while ago, and I forgot my Grant Hughes Investigates shirt. I haven't worn it for a while. I just went, wait, there's my Alright, well here's the weekly, hey, thanks, Paul Ayers, Delphi call-in show where people can call in and talk about, you know, what they have read and seen or what they believe. You know, I might disagree with you, and you know, somebody told me that, you know, remember that a few weeks back, that idiot that made the video about me, you know, putting stuff out of context. Yes, I said all those things, but you know, it was pretty wild, a lot of the stuff that was in there. So apparently they're saying, well, there's another one coming out. Well, it just is what it is, right? Yes, I say certain things, sometimes the callers and everything. And you know what's weird? They must be really frustrated because I have zero criminal history. I've never been arrested for anything. I've never had handcuffs put on me. I've never had to sit in the back seat of a police car. I guess that makes me boring. But I do have speeding tickets though. In my 30, God, how many years is that now? 38 years of driving. You know, I probably have five or so speeding tickets. Who the hell knows, right? But that's not, I don't have, my insurance never went up because they're so far apart. So, yep, you got me there, everybody. You got me there. So the only thing they resort to is taking little clips and putting them out of context to try to sell a story. That's what they do. And it's because I don't believe in their theories. Okay, I don't believe in them. Hey, thanks, Brian, Joe, and Cindy Leon. Yeah, I absolutely, you know, for example, True Crime Garage did a show a couple weeks ago that I believe is had absolutely bogus information in it. Okay, other than the names of maybe the people that were there. But the way it was presented, they completely altered reality to make it possible. And, you know, at least Nick on there was like, yeah, you know, I don't know about this. So that was cool. But I'm required to not say anything. Thank you, Brandy Bradford. Yeah, I'm not required to stay silent when I see something that's just wow. Okay, but I'm criticizing the work. So you can do the same to me. Make a video and say, oh yeah, here's where Gray, oh look at this, man, he's wrong. Oh, look at this part. Here, look at this. Okay, you can do that 1,000 times. I don't really care. I mean, you know, the thing is, it's hard for you to do because really all I talk about are the factual elements in the case. Okay, that's it. So it's hard. So what you got to resort to is bashing the person. on a video. I've never made a video like that. Okay, maybe one time when Straight Drop, a long time ago on Straight Drop, because he said I was a bald-headed billionaire. You know, you guys had to be around during that time. It was crazy. Looney Tunes. He played this guy who was this billionaire talking about this weird shit. And he goes, hey, that sort of sounds like Gray. The guy didn't even sound anything like me at all. Not even close. And apparently I was a bald-headed billionaire funding organ harvesting or some shit. I mean, it was really... That just shows you the level of people on YouTube. It's wild, huh? Wild. So, that's it. You know, then I get emails. I mean, there was another guy, you know, that made a video. I was criticizing a couple of weeks ago because he put out, there was like a lot of elements that were wrong, and then he theorized on that. You know, I might have misheard a couple of the elements, but it still didn't make a lot of sense. It was something to the effect that the killer wouldn't have wanted to go through the water. So, well, the thing is the crime scene, he took him down the hill next to the creek. So, if the car, he also claimed that the car was parked at the cemetery. Well, then, of course, that's the quickest route to the cemetery. What were you going to do? And he said that they were going to be abducted. So if he was going to take them down on that side of the bridge, let me just show you that. See down here, why would he take them down the hill right here? And the cemetery's right there, and here's the crime scene. So it's either intentional, the girls were brought here, or they ran across, and then eventually he was going to go that way anyways. He was going to maybe leave him here and then go across and go up to the cemetery. It just seems really unlikely that he would then get back up, walk across the bridge, because that's really about the only way to get back over there at that point. You'd have to go across the bridge, or you could walk around over here and maybe find another shallow spot and come up and walk on the 505 trail, that kind of thing. So it just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But people always get offended if you criticize stuff like that. Yeah, you don't need to remove somebody's comment. They just said exactly the same place that the podcast that I just mentioned, okay? If I mention it, it's okay if somebody types it in. All right. Now the shoe was just when Kelsey was down there. They were all searching. She was over in this area, and somebody found the shoe during that time. It was just one of the searchers. It was somewhere around. I'm just putting a placeholder, but I don't know if that's where it was. Could have been anywhere around in this area. I think it's down here though. And who knows why the shoe came off. I mean, we can guess. Now, here's the thing. Something I came up with the other day, it was based on a Cheyenne interview. I don't know if it was from a person that communicated with her way back when it happened. But she said it was windy out that day. And I mentioned on my show last night that if it was windy, that might be the reason that there were. I just thought in my head, maybe that's the reason nobody could hear if they did scream. Okay, because people say, why don't they hear the scream? Okay, well, this would be the why if they did. Okay, because this is an answer for that. Alright, I gotta open up this website here. Alright, so this is 2017 Delphi. I'm gonna go back to the 13th. And no, it's not Valentine's. You still have YouTubers going, well, they were killed on the 14th. Alright, anyways, you've got February 13th right there. And if you look right there, I don't know if you can see it, but the high was 45 that day at noon. So that means after 2 o'clock, it would have been getting colder. So maybe more like 43 degrees, because it got down to 37 at 6 o'clock. All right, so let's just say 43 degrees at about 2. And then if you look right down here, there's arrows pointing. That's the north, south, east, west orientation of the wind. So that is going to be an little northeastern wind. This one is way more northeastern, but you could maybe guess that since it's rotating and shifting like that it would have been a little just in between these two arrows. So that would mean, look at this right here, north-south orientation. Look how perfect that perfect storm works out for not hearing anything. They're walking across and the wind's blowing just like this. So that means the killer could hear anything on that bridge way easier. But anything said down here, you're not going to hear a damn thing up on that bridge because the wind was blowing 10 miles an hour towards that direction, and you aren't going to hear anything. However, the killer could have heard Cheyenne just talking or chatting, doing whatever she's doing, walking across that bridge, and he might have got the hell out of Dodge maybe around that point in time. Okay, so I think that's something that I haven't heard that mentioned or talked about, that particular fact right there. Thank you, Kathy Freidenmaker. Yeah, and the water. Yeah, we were talking about that last night. The water's noisy. That would more affect him, but I think the wind would carry any voice on the bridge over to him. But the audio of the water would be more affect the killer because he was only 50, 60 feet away from the water at the time. So, yeah. But look at that. I mean, it's absolutely perfect right in between there. This shoots straight across like this, but I would guess at about 2 o'clock it's probably going right at just like that. All right. So what do you guys think of that? I think that might explain if they did make a scream or a yell or something, that might be why they weren't heard. So when people say, well, why didn't they hear him? Well, that could be the answer. Hey, thanks, Paul Ayers. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh yeah, I was going to go over some of these messages from Cheyenne. I'll just read the. Hold on, let me move it to a different screen for a second. Actually, I don't need to do that. Yeah. So the first one, it was like the person introduced themselves and what did they wanted to know about and so forth. And then she said, "Yeah, I'm just so over this though. I show my image to show how beautiful nature can be, and people go nuts. I hope they find who did this to those girls." Okay. And I don't know what order these are. I think this might be in order, but it says. She said, "Nope. If I have no service," the question was, when you take a picture and then it uploads finally to Snapchat, what time shows up on the image? And she said, "Nope, it has no service. If it has no service, it will save the original timestamp, and once it does get posted, it remains the same." Is that something you guys know to be true? Like you take a picture at 2:05 and at 4 o'clock you upload it to Snapchat and it still says 2:05 on it? Because I think she's a little off on that. Because it said 3:49 on one of them, and she wasn't still walking around. Yeah, I don't use Snapchat either. Okay, yeah, try it, Nicole. Let us know. Like, so take a picture, don't upload it. Or can you choose not to upload it? It said it was when it was just it had no service that would happen. And then she said, yeah, her snap was taken at 2:07, and I arrived at 2:45. So that's when Cheyenne showed up to the parking area. And let's see. And one of the comments she said was, the area is very unique. Whoever did it had it pre-planned. That's what her opinion was. I mean, she's just saying that. So then there was another question about Derrick. I wish I could say your name quickly. G4L4CT. Wait, see. G4L Active Arctic North. Wait, G4L4. I don't know. Can't do it, man. I'll just call you Galactica, right? Remember the Cylons? By your command. Yes, I used to do that when I was a kid. Sorry, everybody. Hey, sometimes I'm still a kid, even on here. Yeah. Let's see. All right, so the person asked about Derrick's dad, or if she had seen Derrick. I mean, Libby and Kelsey's dad, Derrick. And he said, yes, I saw her dad. And there were cars around, but I don't remember much. Like I said, I was going for a hike. I didn't realize I was walking into a murder scene. Do you guys understand? That is such a perfect statement right there. Absolutely perfect statement. That's exactly the reality. Nobody's looking around at noticing cars. Nobody's noticing every single person or every single thing when you're just there for yourself at that time. Now later on, you know, whenever you go to the park, you're looking at everybody because now there was a murder there and you're looking at everybody, you remember everything. But nobody remembers anything. Just like when Kelsey dropped off the girls, she drove away and apparently drove right by the vehicle parked or the two vehicles, it sounds like, that were near the abandoned CPS building. And she didn't see it. She didn't even notice anything. She was driving, probably looking at her phone, just doing her own thing. Because you're not thinking, boy, I better remember that car in case something happens. You know, nobody does that. Hey, thanks, Sylvia Eschbach from Switzerland. Alright, so there were cars around, but I don't remember much. Like I said, I was going for a hike. I didn't realize I was walking into a murder scene. And then, let's see. There are times when I wanted to rip a few people apart, but because this is how she was treated on Facebook. But I had to bite my tongue. But at the same time, I knew there was 10,000 people in the group. I wasn't about to look crazy. And that was that really big Delphi group. It was just an abomination in there. I mean, there was some decent people in there that all transferred to a more logical group called Actual, what is it? Actual Delphi Case Study. That was one that we started. I think there's like 2,000 people in it now. I don't even know. I haven't even looked at it. Wow, you just did it at that exact time? Well, that's crazy. Look at how weird that is. Nicole Wilson just took a picture at 3:49. I posted it at 3:51, and it says I posted it at 3:49. Which is weird because 3:49 is the time that she originally said the picture was taken. Man, that's synchronicity right there. I mean, literally, that's the time she said. So what are the odds of that? Yeah. 1 in a million. And thank you for your super chat there, Nicole Wilson. And welcome, Ange Carter. Yeah, and let's see. And to some of these people, it's like talking to a brick wall. And it says, no, the other car. So there was another car there. It said, so the other car was the couple. She said, so the other car was the couple's, which is also my friend. Okay, so there was a couple near the bridge that the flannel shirt guy saw. She saw them. And one of those people was her friend. Let's see. Yeah, I'm only in 2. Talking about groups, not really by choice, but I want to be aware just in case someone brings up that I wasn't there again. See, there's people even back then that were like, she wasn't there, she wasn't there. Okay. And then he actually recommended the group that I'm in. That I don't know if I started it or how that worked. A bunch of my friends were there. I mean, it might have been Ada or Beth or anybody. I don't know who started it, but we all started it together. Let's see. They are my friends. Wonder what that's referring to. Let me go back. They are my friends. I wonder if she's talking about both of them. But it took me way longer than 5 or 10 minutes to get across. So she got there at 5:45. So let's just think of it like 5:45. If she got there at 2:45 to parking, that's when she said she arrived here. It takes maybe 6 or 7 minutes to get to here. So that would put her around in this area. Let's just say 3 o'clock, just to give it something. And then longer than 10 minutes to get across. So she would have been across maybe over here at 3:15. And I think that matched up perfectly with the stake. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Okay, there it is. Yeah, well, this looks more like 3 o'clock would be the time that she was on the other side of the bridge, right there. So if she got there at 2:45, 6 minutes. I bet she said it took way longer. I mean, it could be, let's just say it's 3:05. That's barely different than that. So 3:05 to 3:15, let's say she's on the other side of the bridge. 3:45 looks like that. So it definitely doesn't look like that. And what we're talking about is this railroad. I think it's in this one maybe. This is one of her pictures that she took. I wish you could give us the timeline on it, but if you zoom in on this random railroad tie or spike that happens to be spiked into a railroad tie there, the shadow angle on it appears to almost go straight off, but maybe slightly inwards, like it would hit here somewhere. So it appears to look like that. And these things right here, these images, these were all done in 3D Studio Max by picking the exact time zone the exact time of day, and I put and the bridge was oriented exactly across a map that was north-south oriented. Put a pin in the ground, and then I put the time. This is 2:20, 2:45, and that's 3 o'clock. That's 3:45. See? There it is. That's the name of the group. Actual Case Discussion and Justice for Abby and Libby. There you go. Here's another comment that she made. Now, first off, my initial response is, why didn't you message me? You clearly have my entire name. This is to some other person at a different time. So I'm pretty positive that you would have found a Cheyenne, Makisha. But thanks to you, I have everyone and their brother in my inbox. Secondly, I did report my findings to the police station as soon as I heard the news. 2 weeks later, a detective came and spoke with me for a lengthy amount of time. I showed him the pictures that I took and explained what I saw. I described my car and other vehicles around me, plus other information that is none of anyone's concern. He has my contact information. Third, how is my picture weird? I'm an avid hiker. See, everyone would go, ooh, it's weird, yeah, woo, ooh, because there was a murder there. But there wasn't, in her mind, there was no murder at all. She was just taking pictures. So it's not weird at all. But you always have people that have really poor brain, or, you know, their functioning in their brain is poor. So they have to go, ooh, it's so weird that you took that picture, woo. Yeah. That was a poor guy. There was a guy flying a drone around there just prior to that, and boy, he got nailed for a while there. What was he doing? Oh, he was using the drone to plan out what he was doing. Instead of just, you know, it's kind of cool to fly a drone around a bridge. It's interesting. How is my picture weird? I'm an avid hiker and nature enthusiast. I enjoy architecture and other outdoor photography. And referencing why I was there on that day when I should be at work is completely closed-minded. Yeah, exactly. It's just, you don't even know what her schedule is or anything, right? Not everyone works a factory job like you, or, you know, she doesn't say that. A factory job or even an office job. That just so happened to be a warmer day and I was off work. See, the thing is, it really wasn't that warm. It was just sunny. Also, your story is false about who was there or what I seen. I guess in Indiana, people say that all the time. What I seen instead of saw. But it's amazing how every single person says it like that. I wasn't alone. I had my best friend who happens to be a female with me. Okay, so then she did bring her own friend with her. Okay, so that, I guess that's what it is. She met a friend out there, and then there was a heterosexual couple there, which means I saw a male and a female who surprisingly I knew as well. Okay, so that's right. So she knew one of them, but apparently her friend was there too. So there was actually 4 people around when the killer is still, you know, over at the crime scene. Crazy, right? Mathematically, though, they have to be the killer, I was told. Yeah, earlier today, somebody messaged me and said that mathematically, that the flannel shirt guy or DP that was mentioned on that podcast has to be the killer. It's just so, it's idiotic. That's all I can tell you. It doesn't mean anything. Mathematically, it's impossible that they're not. Yeah, he's the troll that calls in on Delphi nights over and over again. Hey, it's the flannel shirt guy, Gray. They're obsessed. That guy and the wacko that calls in with saying his dad did it. They're all part of the same crew. Yep. Let's see. Also, your story is false about who was there. I wasn't, or what I seen, I wasn't alone. I had my best friend who happens to be a female with me. There was another heterosexual couple there, which means I saw a male and female. Who surprisingly I knew as well. And before you dig into the situation, they also have spoke with the detective well before I did. All right, rodeo clowns out there. So here it says, after I got out of my car and was already walking towards the bridge, I had a missed phone call from a telemarketer at 2:50. So maybe she got there at 2:45, got out of her car at 2:50, got to the bridge at like 2:56, because that's all it takes. I think she wanted to go take pictures of the bridge, so she probably just walked straight there. Then she took longer than 10 minutes to cross, so let's say it was 20 minutes. So maybe 3:15 she's on the other side of the bridge. I was there, but see this part here, I think is where she threw people off. She says, I was there around 3:45 to 3:50, but that could just mean when she was about ready to take off. The other girl that I ran into didn't know she was going to be there. What does that mean? Didn't know. Oh, wait. The other girl I ran into, in parentheses, I didn't know she was going to be there. And I also know her personally. Was there at 3:30. So maybe that's on her way back across the bridge. Something like that.
Then he...
Wait, is that a call that came in? All right, hold on a second. I almost feel like if it's a guy calling, I'm just going to have it on troll alert every single time. 609. Hello, who's this?
Hi, Gray. It's Too Much Mom.
Too much, Mom. Well, you got to turn down the audio in the background.
Too Much Mom. Okay, let me. That's you. All right. Let me turn it down. Okay, I turned it completely off. Okay, so hi.
Hey, what's going on?
So I'm listening, and you're talking about these different people who, with the Delphi thing, said they saw this or they didn't see this, or people accusing them that they didn't see stuff. I just wanted to tell you a little story. When I was in college, I was taking a class, and the class had just started, and out in the hallway, there was a lot of shouting and just skirmish noises, and two people burst through the door, fighting, and not even actually hitting one another, but the volume of their voices and going at each other, and it was just this horrible distraction. It probably didn't last longer than 30 seconds, but it was traumatic. It was that type of thing. And then they were gone, and the professor shut the door, and he then it was a test. What it was. He then asked us to describe the people who were fighting. What were they wearing? What color hair did he have? What color hair did she have? All these different. The point of the whole exercise was to show how people don't really see what they think they saw, and how unreliable witnesses can. It was a law class. How unreliable witnesses can be. And I'm telling you, I remembered the guy had sunglasses on. That's basically, and the only reason I remembered that was because it was raining out. And as soon as I don't know why, it was an obscure thing to remember, but I couldn't tell you how tall he was. I mean, he had a raincoat on and he had sunglasses on, and it was just the incongruity of that was the thing that stuck with me, and I guess that's all my brain was absorbing for those 30 seconds.
And it might be because you're
tell
like
you what she looked like.
You're stressed out too. Like, whoa, what's going on? You're not really.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody stood in front of the class and spoke to you for that same amount of time the fight was, you'd probably remember more about him. But you're but in this situation, you're kind of panicky a little bit, like it's a real fight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what else was interesting? Because there was no actual hitting or striking, not one person stood up to break it up. It was only about 30 seconds. I mean, there really wasn't a lot of time. It was meant to, shell shock us. Like, it was just chaos and confusion and what the hell just happened kind of a thing. But it was interesting, and the professor said that most people, when something like that is going on, stay away. They aren't as
How did the fight
eager
end in that situation?
It didn't. They carried the fight out into the hallway, and the professor was waiting by the door. And as soon as they got out into the hallway, he shut the door.
Okay, I was wondering how they did that, because then if they'd stopped it in the room, you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, and they're so
exactly.
So it worked.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, obviously
he was very clever, and he had a smirk. He shut the door and he had a smirk, and so immediately everybody knew something was up. And it turned out 2 actors. And it was such an effective lesson for what you think you're seeing, and to be more aware people around you, and when you're, actually taking note of if somebody's acting weird or whatever, to make note of what they look like in your head. Like if you're in the supermarket and you see somebody is acting strangely or following you from aisle to aisle or whatever, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just blow it off and leave the store, but it just kind of made you think a little bit about, well, you know what? Maybe I should take note of what this guy looks like, has palsy. It's just it's a weird thing. But can I tell you something about the Jeanette De Palma hoo-ha thing?
Who?
You did an excellent broadcast on the Jeanette De Palma murder in New Jersey. You did the New Jersey murders. I think there was 5 of them.
Oh, that was a long time ago, right?
Yeah, you did. And the broadcast that I watched was from November. Can I talk about that now?
Yeah, but this is a Delphi show, but I mean, it's a really quick.
I know. Okay. But I did want to tell you, you had made a comment that there must have been something in the water or something in the air in New Jersey at that time. And you know what? You're right.
Oh, come on.
Because I was a teenager. I was a teenager when that happened. And we partied at Watchung Mountains at the reservation. It was like a campground kind of, so we would make a regular thing. There wasn't a lot of places for 17-year-olds to legally go and hang out and, drink beer and stuff like that. And that was the place that where everyone went. So when that happened, there was a fear of, oh God, there's weird satanic people and all this. And then within that same time frame, the girl went missing from Piscataway area, college student. And so there was actually more disappearances. People were found or whatever, but weird stuff was going on. Everybody had a story about being followed or something weird that happened to them. And it was that 1969 to 75 period of time. Yeah. And yes, everyone said that. Is there something in the air? What's going on? My dad worked in North Jersey. So my dad, right in that
there's a lot of stuff going on there, but now we're getting past the short story version. Okay. But anyways, you can call. Why don't you call in like on one of the a Saturday show and talk about that? Because this is supposed to be about the Delphi night.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I know. I called initially about Delphi because of the eyewitness.
But you could do it on a Saturday night. I think that'd work.
Okay.
Even though there's no callers waiting, I want to get back to reading these text messages.
Okay.
But on Saturday nights, we talk about any case that you want to talk about. So
but sometimes Saturday night is your night. You're in Oregon. I'm in New Jersey. So you come on like 11:30 at night.
When I play golf, I do. Yeah. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. That was I watched last night. Before I fell asleep and stuff. But it's just late for me to be having a conversation.
Well, you can. During the week, if there's a Maybe I'll leave the lines open at the end of the. Well, I don't know what time it is over. So you go to bed. What time do you go to bed over there?
No, I go to bed late, but I don't necessarily have command over my brain functions after a certain time. So if I call in, I want to be able to have some kind of recall.
I'm required to be in command of my brain functions all the time.
Exactly.
If I make one mistake, there. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. Well, it was good talking to you. I love the show. I'm an addict now, so.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks for
calling
on.
In.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you guys go check that out. We covered it just for, I think, God, it seemed like almost a month or something. Remember we went over all the missing, or all the murders in New Jersey? I mean, it was crazy. Just tons and tons during a certain time frame. You guys should go check it out. Alright, so let me get back to the text messages over here. She says, but it took me way longer than 5 to 10 minutes to get across. It was extremely windy that day. That's when I went, windy. Interesting. So then I looked it up. 10 miles an hour is what it was at noon. It might have picked up even a little bit more after that. And 10 mile an hour when you're on a bridge, that's pretty high. And the wind direction blows right towards the crime scene off of that bridge that day. So there you go. That solves the issue of why it doesn't solve it, but it's a strong indication of why, if there was screams, nobody heard it. And what do you think? Let's see. What time the question was, what time do you think the friends get off the bridge? And she says, as soon as she got there, she started walking towards the bridge. Okay, and then she ran into her later on the way out. Yeah, and then he mentions, man, you could have ran into the guy. And she said, yeah, we thought about that 1,000,000 times. I'm thankful I didn't hear that, though. So, even if, let's see. Even if you had heard some noises or faint cries of distress, struggle, you wouldn't have seen them or known any details. She says, I'm thankful I didn't hear that, though. We could have potentially walked up on someone and had the same thing happen. And that made me think, put the two together, the wind and hearing something. That's what I'm guessing, depending on the wind. Oh wait, maybe that said it right there. I didn't see that one. This is from her. Maybe he wrote that in there. Because I haven't even read these, but I just heard those two. Now there's another text. Hey, thanks for joining Jiggy England. But I now wonder if the suspect didn't commit the crime faster than he intended because your friends were on the bridge waiting for you. He might have been able to see them. Huh. Yeah. Well, she does mention that right here about. That's what I'm guessing, depending on the wind. Interesting. I didn't read that part yet. She could have heard any of us. Probably spooked him. Yeah. And then I went and looked, and the wind blows exactly how that would affect hearing. So if you're here late, the wind was blowing at 10 to 15 miles an hour, right like this. So if you're standing on the bridge, the wind would be going this way. Any sound from this area would be dramatically reduced because of the wind. I think that's sort of an interesting phenomenon, don't you think? What happened, Leedy? And then any sound from right here, from here though, the wind would carry it and you could hear easier. However, the creek here might dampen your ability to hear something from the bridge. Now, it's pretty cool that she actually put that in there. Let's see. Yeah, we are mostly we're mostly flat land around here. Just walked across the bridge and back. Do you recall what you did between arriving at 349, arriving at the 349 photo? There was a little gap there. See, that photo wasn't taken at 349 though. That's the thing. I think she clarified all of this stuff later. Just walked across the bridge and back. So apparently she just went across and back. She said, no, I didn't see a truck. She mentioned something about the rumors of what happened at the crime scene. I don't want it to say it. She was wondering how they got the sketch. Let's see. First, we're going to saying a teenager was jogging on the trail. Yeah, I'm sure people will say something, but I was there the day. Says, yeah, I am sure people will say something, but I was there the day of, not the day before. So she's even talking back, way back when this was a conversation about how people were already saying, well, she wasn't even there that day. And so instead of actually trying to figure out and get the actual answer, these people recently have been putting out information to sell their story, but the only way to make it work is if Cheyenne's lying about being there. The couple was already on the bridge, so on the bridge, by the time I got there. They weren't under it. So there we go, everybody. See that? And Flannel Shirt Guy said that they were near the bridge, next to it, right? That's what was clarified later. But look at right here how when Cheyenne says the couple was already on the bridge by the time I got there. So maybe they were at the beginning of the bridge and she passed them, went all the way across. Because like I said before, pre-murder, I bet you very few people ever went all the way across that bridge. They would walk maybe halfway, maybe even a third of the way, take some pictures, go to platform 2 here, maybe 3, and then go back. There'd be no reason to go all the way across. But after the murders, people would go there all the time, sort of as a sightseeing, deal. A lot of people didn't go there to actually try to figure something out. They just walked across. I had people that were Beth and Bonnie Rame, and even what's her name? I always forget her name for some reason. Julie Melvin. They actually went out there for me to take video, and when Beth was there, we were actually on the phone together. It was kind of funny because I kept telling her, look at the vine on the ground right there. See the vine in the image? It goes like this. And she goes, great, there's 1,000,000 vines. And finally, there it was, the exact vine that I was looking for. That was in the full shot of the bridge image. So she said, the first picture was taken at 349. I think that's wrong. She clarified it later. That was wrong, though. I bet you that's an hour off. The couple was already on the bridge by the time I got there. Did your friends go to the bridge or wait? How are they doing? Okay. They are my friends, but it took me way longer than 5 to 10 minutes to get across. I was extremely It was extremely windy that day. Okay, so that must have been out of order on that one. So there you go, everybody. That's some information there. I think that, we now know that one of her friends was there, met her, got there, and she didn't even know she was going to be there, but her friend was there. And then there was a couple there also, and she knew either one or both of them. And she said they were on the bridge when she got there, but to me it means that they were just on the bridge on the north side. Right over here. And they're on this side, and that's why McCain saw them. They're not all walking way over here. Oh, they saw them over here. I think that would be mentioned there. But, people just would walk out, take photographs, do what they're going to do. What are you talking about, Vanessa? What are you talking about? Don't remove her comment. But what are you talking about? Hello. Yeah, hello. Who's this?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't want to go.
Wait, hold on. You got to turn that.
Hello.
Hello.
Anymore.
Can you hear me? You got to turn down your audio in the background.
Audio. Oh my. Okay.
Yeah, you just got to use your phone. Just turn down whatever else you're listening.
Wait a minute. Let's figure this out. Okay, I muted it.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh.
We were on some weird. You had a crazy audio loop going on. You just got to use your phone. You might listen to the show, but you got to use your phone. As soon as I get on the phone, you got to turn off your other listening device. I've gone over that many times, but what's going on?
I've got on my TV. I turned off my TV. I just now seen that you were on, and I've seen the Delphi thing before, but I've never seen any call in. I have looked at that many times, and the information that I have, but I don't know, you probably are aware. But did you know that just across from where the girls were killed is a huge Freemason building?
Huh?
A big one.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Wait, you're actually talking about Freemasons?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with it.
And I know, huh?
Yeah, they don't have anything to do with it.
They have nothing. Oh, are you sure about that?
Yeah, because it's just that's the go-to conspiracy theory. Hey, the Freemasons or the Illuminati?
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
When they get to the 33-degree Mason, that's satanic. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's all kinds of weird shit. Hey, but listen, what does the Freemasons have to do with anything?
Oh, they have a lot to do with a lot.
No, but what do they do with this case though? This case, what do they have to do with it?
Well, I don't know that they have anything to do with it, but it just seems funny to me that those girls were killed right down near a Freemason cemetery and the Freemason house. Those lodges are all over small towns.
Mm.
Look on your map. Look on a map.
I heard that there was some Sasquatch. I heard that there was Sasquatch sightings down there too. Do you think maybe?
Oh well.
Do you think one of the
maybe
Freemasons got a hold of one of the Sasquatches?
I don't think that's funny.
Well, I think it's ridiculous what you're saying.
Funny.
I think it's hilarious.
You are a Freemason.
Oh,
are you a Freemason? Are you a member of the Masons?
Well, but now you're making fun of the Freemasons. You're not saying that the Freemasons are funny.
I'm saying the Freemasons are okay until they get up to the 33 degree.
Ooh.
Until they get to 33 degree.
Okay.
Then they go through a satanic ritual.
Okay, listen, I'll tell you what. Well,
You
listen,
read up
you know,
on it,
I just noticed
and
there is
one thing
water
I
there.
want-
Do you think it's possible that the Loch Ness Monster was also in there with Sasquatch
Oh, it could have been.
and
it could
one
have
of
been.
the Freemasons?
But I bet
Maybe
you'll
one of
have
the
any
Freemasons
callers
was
that
writing
listen to
on.
this. Any
Maybe
people that
maybe
listen
one
to
of the
this
Freemasons
know
was
all
writing on
about
the
the
back of
Freemasons.
Sasquatch. Like he was writing. But let's just say one of the Freemasons was on the back of Loch Ness Monster, and he was writing him, and then
That's not
Sasquatch
fair.
dove in and tried to get him. You ever thought of that? Yeah. Okay.
No,
I
that's-
gotta let you go. Okay. Have a good one. Oh God, man, right up there. Why don't you do EVP reading on the next one? See, this is the thing, everybody. I don't do that. That's not my gig. I'm not the channel for it. You can get a hold of a whole bunch of others, man. They'll love that kind of stuff. It's really fun and neat and interesting, and they'll have 17 people on a panel and they're all knitting. But listen, I don't do this one. That's not what if you want to call in with some legitimate thoughts, go ahead and do so. But that's not one right there.
Gosh, Gray, who are you? Who are you to say it's not a legitimate thought?
Well, you got me, Mary Lou. You got me. I mean, I don't want to do those kind of calls just for the entertainment value. Okay? It's a waste of time. That's true, Ray Ross. But what do you think about the Pleiadians or the Nordics? You ever thought maybe? Yeah, hold on a second. 228. Hello. Hello. Gotta unmute yourself. You weren't muted, so you muted yourself. *6. Yeah, it might be entertaining, but I'm not going to keep them on to make it more entertaining. Let's put it that way. 228. 5, 4, 3. I don't know what's going on with this person here. I guess now it's saying it wants me to ask to unmute. All right, 228. You have to unmute yourself. Okay, go ahead. I can see you. Yeah, what's going on?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Tracy, every time I kept hitting *6, it said the host has you muted.
That's Tracy. How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going? I was just calling to see if you ever thought that the Flintstones is out there with the Freemasons and Sasquatch.
The Flintstones?
Yeah.
You know, I actually never thought of that. It's weird too because he probably still had the outline on his face overlaid on the ground on the environment. Yeah, interesting.
Barney Rubble and Bam Bam and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just calling to say hello. I haven't talked to you in a while. I know it's not
Yeah.
about Delphi and you're doing the Delphi show, but I just need to say, hey, tell you again, I think you're pretty great.
Well, thank you.
And keep up the good job. And the truth is, if you want the truth, people, you come here.
Yeah.
You don't want any bunch of BS people, you come here and you listen to Gray.
There you go. And here's the thing, everybody. That last
That's
caller,
it.
the Freemason. Listen, there is a chance that the killer happened to be a Freemason, but this thing right here isn't a. It wasn't like a Freemason sort of killing situation, all right? Because maybe there's a lot of Freemasons that live in an area. Just like you could say, hey, is the killer a? Do you think he worked at the what is it called? The pork plant or whatever the hell that thing was over there. What's the name of that plant? I can't even remember now. It's like a slaughterhouse. But yeah, I mean, there was thousands of people that worked there. So I guess, it's more likely that somebody worked there than say McDonald's with, 7 people that work in there, right?
At this point, what we know
meat
is
packers,
not a whole, what we know is it's not a whole lot, and it could be anybody that did anything, you know. So I guess there's all kinds of I don't like to go into all this speculation and all this crazy stuff. I mean, I'm sure that I would think the authorities know more than what we do, but I just, a lot of people can take a lot of guesses about a lot of things, but the far out kind of stuff is what we don't do on your show, and I appreciate that a lot. But anyway, I was just going to say hello. I haven't been in a lot, and I miss you guys, and just wanted to tell y'all how much I love y'all and keep it up.
Well, good. Well, thanks for calling in. See, there's some joy at the end of the tunnel. Happiness.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go out here and say hello. And
okay.
I'll get back in the chat.
Well, thanks for calling in.
And no problem. It was easy peasy except for that.
You're always so nice.
It's too late. Unmute yourself.
All right. Have a good one.
I love you, Gray. You're the best.
All right. Thanks.
All
Talk
right,
to you later.
bye.
Bye-bye. Got so many nice people on here. And there's also a lot of trolls. Yeah, I think Carol's comment was accidentally hidden there. Unless she said something above that I didn't see, but no problem. You're unhidden, Carol. You were hidden accidentally for a moment there, but I'm getting sick of everybody typing S-aid now. Like, oh, it's such a cool, new thing. Just type in the words, okay? It doesn't matter. Everyone says it in their head after you say it. Just type it in. Yep, so bean. It's all started with one YouTuber recently, so now it's just the hip thing to say. It almost sounds weird, Now it's like, essay. What are you saying? Isn't that like what in Mexico they call a friend or something, or a dude? Essay? I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, see what I'm saying? Or like, hey, you taking a test at school? Yeah. Yeah, see? That's right. It's like homie. Something like that, right? All right, let me get this call here. 260, you're on.
This is Polly from Indiana. We spoke, I think, last weekend about the Summer Wells case.
Yeah.
But I just, I'm from Indiana. Well, I'm not from Indiana. I live in Indiana. I've lived here for about 14 years. And I'm a replacement from the East Coast, but I'm here for my guy. And I just want to tell you, people are so broken up about this case. Everybody is so hurt. And I just hope that there can be some sort of resolution. It's horrible.
Yeah. I think everybody wants there to be resolution. I would love for there to be resolution. Everybody finds out what actually happened that day, a trial, and then boom, everybody can move on and be doing other things, right?
I know.
And especially them, because I think it's always like it's in their minds all the time too, so they can move on and do other things, but they never get over the murders. It's just that you can focus on other things in life more. I'm talking about the family members and so forth. Yeah.
It's absolutely horrible. I don't know. I don't want to say it. I have somebody that I kind of want to have somebody look at.
Well, don't tell me about it or anything. Just get a hold of, send in a tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to know about it.
It's something from years ago.
Yeah.
And I just feel kind of weird about it.
Yeah.
And it actually kind of scares me.
Well, does it look like the guy on the bridge and the voice and everything?
Well, yeah, a little, yeah.
Well, then if it doesn't, if you don't really think that he could be that person based on the physical characteristics and the voice, I don't know. I mean, just send it in anyway, because if you have a feeling, just send it in. But I don't want to really. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't want the name. I don't want anything about him on the show.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not like a conspiracy theorist, but the weird thing is that this guy's wife was like out of the country at the time, and it really freaks me out. And I've said it to my husband, and he poo-poos it. I don't know. This is two little girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think if I was you, I'd just turn it in as a tip. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I have to. Not. It's nothing's exact. That's the whole thing. Nothing's exact. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But if things line up to where, like, that's the time that his wife was out of the country, not the state, the country.
Uh-huh. Did he live in Delphi, or where did he live?
I'm sorry?
Where did he live?
I'm not exactly sure, but I live in like north. No,
the
east.
person that you're talking about.
Right, northeast.
Okay, but not in Indiana or anything like that?
Yes, northeast Indiana.
Yeah, well, I said, where did this person live that you're talking about? Northeast Indiana.
Exactly, same. Right. Northeast Indiana.
So how far from Delphi?
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can always call it in. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm gonna get back. I had to go back to going over this case. You have any more that you want to? I don't want to keep talking about this.
No. I just, this kind of, sometimes this kind of stuff just cleanses the soul, and makes someone feel better about, I got to go ahead with it because someone else is telling me, no, it couldn't be.
Well, I can't say anybody couldn't be, but if the person, let's say, weighs 700 pounds, is 6'8", I probably wouldn't turn in the tip. If he has looks like, kind of looks like that, but if he doesn't have any appearance of that at all, like let's say he's blonde hair and about 6'3" and skinny, I probably wouldn't.
But if a person about fits a description and kind of comes on to people when his wife's not around, you know what I mean?
But a lot of people do that. Thing. But a lot of guys do crap like that, right?
Well, no, of course. No, I'm understandable of that. Absolutely.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Were you the one that went out of the country and now you're wondering? I get it now. So you're doing the projection thing, right?
No.
Okay, it was a joke. Okay. You know how you know how people say, "Hey, my friend, I'm calling for a friend," right? But it's not really about the friend. Yeah.
No, it's just I'm kind of afraid.
Yeah.
I'm kind of afraid because I don't want it to be, but I need to kind of line up some timelines with when the wife was out of the country.
Yeah, well, you should call in. And, I would just call it in, right? So there you go. That's all I got for you.
Oh, God. I know that's so scary.
Well, just call it in and you just tell them why. And they might do something with it or they might not, but they do look at all of them.
So I know this sounds so stupid because I'm so green and naive to all this. But I can actually call them and say, can you look at this person? And they won't say my name or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll investigate this person and the timeline and all that.
Yeah. So.
Right?
Yeah, they'll look into it. Yep. So there you go. All right. Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna go back.
Thank
to
you.
covering the
No,
subject.
you go. You go. Love you. Thank you.
Bye bye. See, that's another thing. I don't want to be talking about random suspects with no names or anything like that. Can't do it. All right, so hold on a second. I mean, I've told you guys that a million times. I know you think, oh, that's so rude, Gray, but I don't know how to get off of a call when I don't want to be talking about that type of stuff, okay? If you have a tip, call the damn police or the FBI, whatever the hell the number is. Call it in. I mean, I've got it on this loop here. You know, it'll show up at the end. Just call the dang number. Okay, it's coming up on the screen, everybody. Here it comes, here it comes. Alright, after this loops up, there'll be a phone number on the screen. Give it a call. Alright, I'm going to, before I do my vacation, I'm going to do a, let's see. Yeah, I was going to send money into RAIN. And that's violence against women. You're going to have to wait, 281. Sorry. So here we go. Here we go. Wow, they really added a bunch of stuff on their screen here. Wow. Look how it got really busy on here. Yeah, so I'm gonna do 500 to RAIN, and I don't know if what kind of at one time. Yeah. Okay, so apparently I got to fill all this stuff out. So hold on a second. And this is RAIN is violence against women here. Okay. And we'll do it in honor of Abby and Libby. Even though they weren't really women, they were just becoming women. I mean, they're really young. Don't have that. Okay, hold on one second. Hey, there's Steph May, the train conductor, you know. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, they're way over here. Wow. Okay. There it is. Yeah. Thank you to Rita Schaefer and Steph May. Yeah. Where have you been? All right. So we just sent in $500 to RAIN. Okay. Right there. Thank you. Donation successful. Look, it's a real web page. Right there. And notice how I can open up another, so it's a real web page. Hey, Gray, you made a website so that you could fake a payment. It's really weird. Okay, so this is Violence Against Women. They also do backlogs of sexual assault kits. Okay. And let me see. Oh, well, I didn't mean to laugh at. I was like laughing at you. Wow, another 100. But sorry. Wow. Is it from COVID, Steph May? That sucker's just blazing through everybody at this point. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's the email that just came in from Rain, right? See that? 500 to Rain. Boom, 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 boom. All right, there you go. See that? So that was all proven, and the reason we're able to do that is because of the freaks on this channel, or who are so generous, right? So we've got the right there. I mean, I'm not laughing, but it's like, come on, thanks, Stephanie. The variant, the Delta variant, huh? Jesus. Yeah, that thing seems to be just blazing through. If you've been vaccinated, you're protected very well from being hospitalized or dying from it. There's almost nobody dying that's been vaccinated, unless you have another comorbidity. Okay, so just statistically, if you haven't been vaccinated, I would go out and do it. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your own deal, but just don't try to convince anybody else not to. Wow, well, thank you very much, Stephanie. Very cool. All right, so now it's time for, I might do, I don't know, I was thinking of, so far we've done $1,000 this month. I might send another 500 in, like in a week, right? Just to do it some more later to another charity, maybe, might be Knick-Knack again, or maybe the Abby and Libby Ballpark. I don't really know, but we'll do another 500 in a couple, like in a week, just a week. Probably next Sunday or something. So, how's that sound? All right. Man, thank you very much, Stephanie. That was very generous of you. And now it's time for the break time. Where we sit around and, hey, thank you, Brandy Bradford. You're very generous. Hey, send me an email, Brandy, if you would. You got my email? Just send me an email. What day can we recommend it? Well, you can always email me a case, KT. You just email it to me, Grant Hughes. But I don't get to go to all the cases. There's so many of them.
Thank you for all you do, Gray.
Thank you, Rita Schaefer. Yeah, but Steph, man, I'm sorry about what's going on over there. You had it once too, didn't you? COVID early on? Got through it? Your whole train, your whole crew, I guess? Yeah, you got through it though, so. I think that'd be kind of a cool job. You know? Like once you're on the road, it just must be kind of peaceful out there. Other than the loud noise that the train might be making, but just wear earplugs or something.
Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
For a couple rum and cokes.
Oh yeah. Well, I need a rum and coke. We've got just a stellar start to the phone calls tonight. Remember last week there were so many good ones just all the way through. We've had a few good ones, but I mean Freemasons. 28 years old, huh? And he was otherwise healthy. There was no problems at all. Wow. Thank you, Kathy Friedenmaker. I think I'm going to be getting over here to get a drink here in a second.
For a pina colada.
That almost sounds like a procedure. The name of that drink, huh? Doesn't that sound like something you might go see your proctologist about? Well, sir, I've come down with a case of pina colada. Is there any way you can go ahead and fix that for me? Well, we're gonna have to sedate you and... Yeah. I know, it's so close to a few things, right? Oh. Come on, it does a little bit, Rita Schaefer. Come on. How about, let's see, penile colitis. There you go. Penile, I have, wait, looks, it sounds like he's got penile colitis. Wow! Now that is very... Hey, thank you. Jillian Pearson. No relation to the Pearson, right? Hope that didn't offend anybody, you know. It's just a little joke. Yeah, it does sound painful, doesn't it?
Happy Sunday.
Oh, we got a couple calls on hold here. We'll get to them in just a minute. All right, I'm gonna go get myself a rum and coke. Hey, thank you all for the vacation there. And, you know, Steph May, thank you very much. You know, it's horrible. COVID's really affected a lot of shit that you've been doing last year or so. It's crazy. All right, so hold on a second. Holy crap, what happened? Hey, thanks, Mag. Oh, buffering again, huh?
Listening but buffering. Thanks so much for all you do. You're awesome.
Mag. And Vanessa, thank you. Wow, you guys are the generous freaks. Here we go. Bing, 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 bing. Right there. All right, well, thank you guys for the vacation. I do now have my Diet Coke and Jim Beam. Thank you. I didn't have any pina coladas. Sounds good though, but very painful at the same time. All right, so hold on. Let me go. I got to fix this now. All right. So far, Charlie Project 500. Rain has 2,000, but now it's 2,500. Knickknack 3,700. The Libby Nabby Ballpark 1,500. The DNA Fund has 14,500 in it. And then also Texas EquiSearch has 3,300. And Innocence Project 500. And what else we got? Yeah, that was it. Okay. All right, so that's going to be 26.5. And then I'll get to the calls just in here just a minute here. So 2,500 to Rain. Oh man, my stomach just went. Okay. I think we should all be there. It is, Rain 2,500. Bam. Okay, now we're all squared away. Okay, that's where we're at so far this year. Last year was 22. So since January 2020, the freaks on this channel have made it possible that we've donated $48,500, and that's real. Every single nickel was proven on the screen, just like I do every single time. So that the wackadoodle, what's going to be amazing is we'll be over 50,000 at the end of the month, if everything works out well, right? 50,000 since January, last year. Man, that's nuts. Man, I could have paid off a portion of my house with that. Oh well. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. Anyways, it's all because of you guys. I just do the show, but you guys are the ones that support my channel and these charities, so thank you. Yeah. All right. So here we go. I'm going to get to, I think this 281 was here first. Hello, 281. Oh yeah, what's going on, Roy? Did you turn down your audio, or what's going on? Oh, okay, yeah, you're driving down.
As short as possible. Everybody seems to disagree on how this crime took place, and I certainly don't have an idea on it. I wish that we could maybe get you and the garage people and maybe Greeno together, and y'all have a little conversation and talking to people and maybe throw ideas out. But this constant bashing anybody that disagrees with you and acting ugly towards them doesn't help anything.
Well, it really does, because when they're but here's the thing, guy, is they're putting out complete garbage. So when you put out some bullshit about no, I don't really give a shit, man. I'm going to, if somebody puts out something that's false, I'm going to say it. It's false. It's not an opinion. It's false. Because they're saying that, no, listen. They're saying that Cheyenne wasn't even there that day, so that they could prove that that the flannel shirt guy only heard a voice, and therefore it was the killer arguing with Abby and Libby under the bridge. Do you think that is rational at all? It's stupid. It's ludicrous. Okay?
Okay, but calling them names and acting ugly doesn't get anything done. All it does is make you look bad, sir.
Well, I don't think it makes
shrink your market.
Well, I don't think it makes me look bad at all.
Market.
No, I think it's what it does.
It shrinks your market.
Well, look, if somebody doesn't want me to do that, I don't care if they watch my channel or not. But I'm going to say, when somebody puts out something, I'm not one of those people that's out there sub-mining, okay? My channel grows slowly over time, and there are people that are like-minded and actually give a shit when somebody puts out false information. So I want people to know that what they're listening to is false on that. Is that should I just say accept it and go, yay, it's great, you know? Is that what I should do?
No, you're entitled to your opinion. and you can suggest things, but you don't have to bash them over the head and trash them like that.
Well, but I'm not. I'm just saying, don't believe what you just
you
heard
do
on
it
that
all the
show.
time.
I just said don't believe him on that show. I just said that.
Okay.
Is that something wrong?
Well,
what's wrong with doing
I
that?
listen to a lot of podcasts, and I still don't have a
See,
clear
it's weird
picture
because
of what
why
has
is it that
happened.
every guy that calls into the show a troll of some sort? You ever wonder
I'm
about
not
that?
a troll.
Yeah, get the hell out of here. Nobody's listening to you right now. Yeah. So I get what he's saying, like, oh yeah, you're bashing somebody. But here's the thing, is how do I not bash somebody when I'm explaining what the hell happened? I said on True Crime Garage, they put out information that was false and told a story that wasn't true to people. Okay? Now he kept talking to me, well, that's your problem, Gray. You don't listen to anybody who has a different opinion. Well, listen, I do listen to people who have a different opinion. If they have an opinion that I haven't heard before, I'll actually go, wow, that's interesting. Okay? That's it. But if it's something that actually makes sense, if it's something that I don't agree with at all, I'm going to say I don't agree with it and keep talking. See, I'm not looking. The stuff that guy just called in about, I don't care. Okay, I don't care about. Oh God, you're shrinking your market. You're shrinking your market. You're shrinking your market. Well, I mean, I've increased my sub count by 5,000 or 6,000 people in the last couple months. So I don't know where. Maybe I could have got more if I said, wow, that is such a great theory. That is so interesting, everybody. Come on, everybody come over and listen. Forget it. Okay? I think people should start telling the truth. I hate the, pussyfooting around, whatever the hell the term is you want to call it, where you go, oh, that's a good idea. Hey, really great idea. Like the Freemason shit that called in. I'm not doing that. Okay? I'm absolutely open-minded to rational thoughts of what might happen. Okay? What might have happened or other things like that. But when you put stuff out there, Cheyenne was at the bridge that day. She just said she saw her friend, the couple, on the bridge in that text message I just read. That's her. She spoke to the police. She was there that day, everybody. So therefore, the entire theory about them being, the argument being with one of them under the bridge is completely false and bogus, and it needs to be called out for what it is. What am I supposed to do? God, what am I supposed to do with it? Just go like this. It's not my cup of tea, everybody, but you're welcome to go believe it if you want to. Because you are. But I don't need to say it. I'm going to call out stuff that isn't true. What's amazing is why is every guy that calls in the last week, is there any guys out there that can call in that are just normal people that wanted to talk about the case, not the troll whack jobs? I don't know if you would consider him a troll, but he's one of those people that he just doesn't like anybody saying anything about anybody because everybody's got their own opinion and it should be okay. But you know what? That's not true, right? There's some people that have opinions that are just totally bogus, and they're selling it to a huge bunch of people. And if you don't see the difference, then I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right, 502, you're on.
Steve from Louisville, Kentucky.
Steve from Louisville, Kentucky. Will this be the first guy that's not a troll? There we go.
No, they've been. I've been hearing you earlier, man. They've been really trying to mess with you tonight. No, I love your show. I think those people are. Yeah, I wouldn't let them get to you.
Yeah.
But man, I tell you, this case and the Missy Beavers case, man, where you got the killers on film.
Yeah.
These two are the two things that got me into true crime, man, and it drives you nuts. But tonight, I was thinking about it with how did the guy close in on those girls so quick? Because I think about
when
I was growing up and we were off the beaten path somewhere, if an adult was just trailing us, we literally would just take off running because we thought it would be we were in trouble or we were going to be harmed. So I thought about this earlier in this when I first started reading about this case when it first happened. It just made me wonder how he closed in on him so fast. For example, if I was on that bridge, and I don't know all the details.
Well, I already know what you're saying. I already know what you're saying. You don't need to do examples and everything.
Yeah.
So here's what I would say is the killer was waiting back there. Maybe let's say they were halfway across, right?
Right.
So then he comes at him and they see him, but see, Abby's never been on that bridge before. So she's really slow trying to kind of navigate across, and that's why Libby's always in front of her on every single shot, every photograph taken. She's always in front, and she even when she took the video was off the bridge before her. And I think it could have just been like, she's trying to encourage her to go a little quicker. Maybe they thought too when he was walking on the bridge that he was just some other guy that was going to turn around, but then as he kept getting closer and closer, they sort of maybe hurried a little bit, but he was still coming up on him, and then he was hoping that he would turn around, but there's nowhere to go at the end of the bridge. See, that's another thing. They were kind of trapped right there. Yeah. You can go down those hills, but people aren't thinking about that stuff.
True. And that's, like I said, I'm trying to, I go back to when I was a kid hanging out like that. We would have definitely, once we understood that he was kind of following us, I'm just wondering if they, then they're small town kids too, see, I didn't grow up in a big city, but we would be on high alert, man. It was almost be like once we got off those tracks, as soon as we hit solid ground, we were bolting down, running anywhere we could. And that would, I just kind of have wondered sometimes if they were just letting him pass, maybe hoping he would just pass, after they got off the bridge, and then that's when he jumped on them. It's just really weird in my mind because I watched a guy that filmed he walked the bridge. I watched this on YouTube. He walked the entire bridge down to the creek in that area, and I know that it would have been hard for him, if they'd have cleared the bridge and he was still on there, and if they'd have just, took off like you would think, that's what I would have done back in those days. That killer would have had to take off running on those tracks. It makes me wonder if they, they thought, let's just let this guy pass by, and unfortunately, that's when he struck.
Yeah, no, I think that they were just hoping that he was just going to keep on going. Yeah. And I've said this 100 times, but it's like when they were at the end of the bridge, they were just so nervous thinking, God, is he going to just keep on coming? And that's when Abby probably said, he's right behind us, isn't he? And and then they just sat there waiting, and they were getting really nervous and like panicking, and their hearts are beating really fast, and they're getting more scared and scared. And then he gets right up upon them, says, hey guys, as he passes, like he's just saying hi. And then he pulls out the gun, and then that panic feeling never went away. In fact, got worse and worse and worse, and there was no out. That's the part that always, when I let myself go there, I feel really, it's just awful feeling. I've felt that feeling before, but it got better.
Absolutely.
It got better. You went, shit, woo, like that. That never happened. So that's what's just, it's brutal.
Yeah, we've had, when we were growing up, we just run around till your parents said come home, and a lot of times when we were off the beaten path like that, man, if we just saw an adult, we either thought they're going to do harm or they're going to try to get us in trouble, and we were real skittish. And that's, I guess, I'm sure that you've gone over this, and it just made me wonder tonight, like how he closed in. I just had it in my mind that they must have just thought, just let this guy pass by, and unfortunately. And then, another thing, watching that video of them, the gentleman that had the video out on YouTube where he's walking the bridge and down, and I guess he was laying out the entire situation in that creek and in that bank. Man, the whole thing is just crazy sounding. Like something, they must have made a run for it at some point. I can't imagine someone picking or choosing to march those kids across the creek and then up that. If he's in the right spot, man, that's a steep bank, and then it goes up into some clearing, I guess. In my opinion, they had to have made a run for it at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. It seems like I always thought that the crime scene was going to be down in this area here, and then they ran across. There's another YouTuber out there that said that the car was parked here, but he didn't want to go through the creek, which is weird because down the hill would be right here. So, and he said that he was going to abduct the girls. So how are the girls going to be abducted without going through the creek? That's the part that, I mean, what were you going to do? Take them all the way back across the bridge and around? And it just doesn't make a lot of sense. They weren't supposed to be abducted. He went there to kill them there. He was just doing what he wanted to do. There was no abduction planned.
Yep. And that's another brain scratcher. It's like you would almost think that it would have been an abduction because, in my mind, I picture some guy that's trying to work out some kind of macabre fantasy in his head, and I would have thought he was definitely had intentions on taking them somewhere where he has full control. But yeah, like you just laid out, the whole plan didn't make sense to do it that way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it just seems to me like the guy was there. I believe. Oh, wait, I said actually. That means I'm lying. Okay, hold on. I believe that now even if the girls were going to walk down this 505 path, he would have followed them down there, because when the girls and he were there, when the killer was there and the girls were there, they were the only 3 people in this entire area. That's it, because he had been monitoring. He knew that was it. So he would have followed them down here and killed them. He would have followed, and it just so happened they went across the bridge, and it's probably he knows the area pretty well. So he crossed the bridge, had him go down the hill, and then he was. I think he was going to maybe do something here, and then he was going to get back on. I don't know. I don't know if he would have crossed the bridge. That'd be too risky, especially when there's somebody on it. So I think he might have crossed the creek anyways, gone up through the cemetery, and then walked down towards the abandoned CPS building. But he may have cut in at some point to get back on the trail. I don't know. I don't think he would have gone across the bridge though. Again.
For the longest time, I've changed my thoughts about this. I really think that now this might be this guy's first time doing this. Now, I think he's probably done some violent things. He's definitely not afraid of violence, but at first I thought this was like a seasoned serial killer type, and I'm beginning to think that just the risk that he took in the manner in which he did all this, it's kind of crazy to say, but I think this is his first time that he's murdered someone.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, you think? Yeah, it could be his first time. Is that what you're saying? I'm sorry, I had to read somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's unorganized, planned in a way, but I had it in my mind. I was thinking of a guy who's probably murdered before, and I mean, of course.
What makes you think it's not organized, though? What makes you think it's not organized?
Well, no, I think it's organized in the sense that he planned on finding someone that day, and he was out trolling and hunting. But it seems to me that to try to grab 2 victims would be reckless. But I don't know. And then again, I think it's just a guy, of course, was slightly organized in the sense that he premeditated. He was looking for a victim that day, and I think he knows the area, and I think he's from that area. But just this savage got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I think it seemed like, to me it seems pretty organized. I mean, it looks like he's got stuff ready to go under his jacket there. He would have taken him down either direction. He hasn't been caught yet because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that sort of is in his favor. It could be luck, like you're saying, but I mean, he was even filmed and he got away with it, right? So far.
Right. No, I knew organized in the sense that he brought his tools with him for sure. Yeah, like I know that, and he definitely knew. It just, man, what a leap that he took to try two people. You know, that's the thing that just really blows my mind.
Well, I think he thought, well, they're kind of young. You know, Libby was, she was larger, obviously, than Abby. So maybe he thought, well, I think he might have been there, not necessarily for a kid, like the ages they were, right? He could have been there for anybody. It could have been Cheyenne. Let's say Cheyenne was the only one there after Abby and Libby. He might have gone after her.
Yeah. Man, I guarantee. I wish that they had I'm sure that this guy has probably cruised that area several times, and he's so familiar with it. I sometimes wonder if this is a guy that law enforcement. I've had this theory that this is a guy who grew up in Delphi and was in and out of trouble, and if you were like an old timer, or say somebody was on the police force several years ago, they would know about his character, and they know he's a troublemaker. But I can picture him have done some bizarre things that police know about when he was growing up in Delphi. But I think that I can imagine that this dude has moved away from the area.
That's kind of an interesting angle that I could actually see. Maybe law enforcement not of thinking about would be to check 20 years ago any local weird behavior by somebody. That's kind of an interesting thing.
I picture like a kid that grew up there but left maybe when he was, early 20s, possibly even went away to prison over some kind of bizarre violent crime that didn't get him put away too long. And then after that, he never returned to Delphi. But I think he might have family there, and he's familiar with. I think he's a guy that kind of grew up there, but didn't really spend a lot of his adult years there. At this point, that's what I kind of think.
Yeah, man, it definitely fits in. He knows the area, but he might live outside the area now. But he knows it.
Yeah.
But what would have made him come back that day? Was he aware that the school was out that day?
True.
I mean, apparently he was there. Law enforcement thinks that he might have been there much earlier than the girls. So if he was just sitting there and he kept monitoring who was going and who was coming. Because if he had I think Morford was just saying he thought that. Let me read what Mike Morford just typed in. Hold on.
Okay.
He said, "My theory: he was on the hunt for a victim, and saw Kelsey drop the girls off and sprang into action." Well, see, my thing is, I think in that scenario, he wouldn't have known if there was anybody in front of the girls or behind them to take the risk to go all the way across that bridge and sort of corral them. So that's one argument against it. But I guess you could say that he took the chance that there was nobody in front of him and then would have just called off the attack at any moment. But to me, he seems more like he'd be sitting around planning and trying to figure out, what's the situation right now? Is there anybody in front of them, meaning on the bridge or anywhere that hasn't come back yet? And he knew that everybody was accounted for, and right now, Abby and Libby are the only people walking down that trail, and I'm the only other person in the area at that moment. And it turns out it was about 30 minutes after is when people started showing up again.
Yeah.
After the down the hill
he
part.
Definitely on the area. He's no doubt that dude was on a mission. I bet he did a bunch of homework up there that day. And I hope, man, I'm hoping that law enforcement does have a character like I think in my mind, and they're just surveillancing him and this dude can't hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
I'm hoping like hell that like they're just waiting on some evidence, but they pretty much got their guy narrowed down, and that we don't have a guy just that can harm anyone. I'm hoping they got eyes on him, but who knows?
Yeah. Hey, Morph just said, why does Gray have 38 thumbs down? Hey, man, that's a miracle. I usually get 100. The Delphi brings out the trolls. Let's see. So he said some of these predators are very opportunistic. And that's true. See, in this case, he is opportunistic, right? He's ready to go. He's waiting for the opportunity. And Abby and Libby happen to be the opportunity that presented themselves at that moment, that when he knew there was nobody in front. Like, you could say he was hunting the whole day, and this was the only opportunity that presented itself. It was the first opportunity that it presented itself that way. Maybe later on somebody else would have shown up and that would have been the person, but they were the first opportunity that he knew of. There was nobody in front, nobody behind. Who knows, right?
Yeah. It's terrible, man. This thing racks my brain on a daily basis. Just unbelievable. That's pretty much my spiel for tonight, Gray. I'm gonna just get off here, man. I'm gonna keep listening. Appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Well.
Yeah, but it's good talking to you.
No, you too. All right. Bye. Thanks, man. That was a good one.
And I'll see you.
Bye. Steve. He always has a good call. Yeah, hey, tell you what, there's a guy that claims he's Robert Ives now. That's definitely not Robert Ives. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 38's pretty good, man. But here's the thing is I don't mind thumbs down. So for all of you trolls out there, go ahead and hit the thumbs down. It's an engagement. It actually helps the channel out. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel with the thumbs down. Okay, really appreciate it. It's not quite as good as a thumbs up, but it's better than if you didn't type something in. You see what I'm saying? It's a half bonus point. So thank you. If you can get that up to 250, I'd appreciate it. That means it'd be 125 likes. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I think he's just sort of a hunter waiting around for the right opportunity. He was prepared that day. You can see that he's got a bunch of stuff under his coat there. All right, 828, you're on.
My name is Hallie Pike.
Hello?
I was just calling. Hello?
Yeah, I said hello. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Sorry. I was just
Wait, hold on. Let's do
calling
this again.
to-
You called in and you said, "Hi, this is Holly Pike," and I said, "Hello." Because you didn't give me a time to say hello to you, and then you just kept going. Then I said hello, and then you went, "Hello." I mean, are you not used to people responding and saying hi back? Is that what the problem is? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's just a joke. It's a joke. Okay, go ahead.
I get it, yeah. So I was just kind of building on the last caller. I definitely, are you familiar with Israel Keys?
Yeah, pretty, not like extensively, but Cairo always talks about him with me, so more than, with the kill kits and all that.
With the kill kits, yeah. I didn't know if anybody had called in and mentioned him before, but I definitely could see it being somebody like Israel Keys, because he went around the country and stashed kill kits in different places.
Right, but he didn't have this guy had something under his coat. Like, I don't think he had a kill kit buried somewhere there.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he had anything buried. But I think he probably had been to many different places, kind of similar to Delphi, where he could, where there were trails, and you might have women or teenagers alone. But But I think what the scary thing about Israel Keys is they didn't catch him until he really escalated, and kind of got just increasingly disorganized. And I'm just I'm afraid that if this case is solved, that it might be solved because this person just gets messier over time. They got away with this. They might not be as careful the next time.
But it might be their only one that they ever do, because that happens. Like the April Tinsley case, Miller, that was his only kill, but he acted like a serial killer. April Tinsley's the only person he killed, apparently, and it seems like it makes sense because when they went to his house, he knew why they were going there. If he had 14 different people, he wouldn't have known why they were there. But he acted like a serial killer. Put notes on a barn. He put notes on bicycles with semen in them and photographs, and spread those out over. The 2006 was when that happened, or 2004 or 6. 1990, put the note on the barn. He was taunting police over and over and over again. And so, it could be one of those types. And that makes it really difficult, because then DNA is really the only thing. So.
And I think you said before all they have is trace DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trace DNA. Well, I don't even know if trace is the right word. It's touch DNA. And what we were told, it was like a touch DNA off a shoulder. And it doesn't even have a lot of, the marker count's kind of low. It's just not really that great to work with. Yeah. So, there you go. Well, you never know. It could be what you're saying. We don't know who this guy is. Watch it just turn out to be it'll turn out to be Zozo's suspect. Okay, it's going to be a guy sitting in his grandmother's basement and drooling. Okay, and he plays video games. Okay, that's going to end up being the guy, right? Oh boy, then I'll owe $100, but that's all right.
I hope we find out.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey. Well, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye. Yeah, the true crime guy is Morph, right? He has at least 2 podcasts that I know of. It's criminology, and the other one is, I think, The Murder in My Family. Is that right? Did I get those right? Man, that's pretty good memory right there. But yeah, he's one of those the people that I do support out there that do things the right way. Great interviewer. He's probably one of the best. Actually, the reason I'm getting better at interviewing is because of how he interviews. Okay, because he interviews in a way where he'll ask a question and he'll just let them go on and on and on and on. Oh, look at that. We've got a fake true crime guy. Did you see that? See that? It's a little different image. See what happens, Morph? We get the fake. Don't block that one, though. But anyways, when he's interviewing, he lets them talk and just kind of has a conversation with them, brings back, you get the right points in and everything like that. Somebody just created a fake true crime guy. It's just incredible. These people out there, they have nothing better to do with their lives. It's unbelievable. But so that's where I learned a little bit of it. I still interject too much, and sometimes kind of mumble along in the interview, but not as much as I used to. Okay, it's hard, and it's amazing because you have a lot more material to work with if you don't interrupt them, right? Just let them keep going, and you have a lot of sentences that you can put in. Well, thanks, Stacy. Yeah. All right, here we go. 260, you're on.
from Indiana.
Wait, who? We spoke earlier
Hello?
tonight? We spoke earlier tonight?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
And I told you that I thought I had a hint, and I was afraid. I've been afraid for all these years. I just wanted you to know that you inspired me to call 911, and I just got off the phone with them.
Wait, 911? Did you call 911 or the actual number that was on the screen?
No, I went ahead and called 911 because I've been frantic about this for years.
Okay, and then what'd they say?
Oh my gosh, they were wonderful. They took all my information, every bit of scrap of evidence, and didn't poo-poo it. Everything was wonderful.
Oh, cool.
And I told them, I said, I just want you to look into this guy because I don't know, but I think it coincides with the time that his wife is out of the country. But I kind of wanted to just call and thank you because it's been years. It's been years this has been heavy on my heart.
Well, there you go. So she, I guess 911. You called the 911 in Indiana, and they knew what to do if to take down the information because they're all aware of the case, right? But normally you want to call the tip line or something like that.
Right. No, I just went ahead and called 911. I said I don't know who to call. I just want you to know this information. And they were right here in my area, and I was able to give them the area where this man lives, first and last name, you know, just everything that I've been wanting to kind of spout out for years.
Well, there you go.
That where I kind of feel like, you know, my boyfriend who knows him is kind of like, come on. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I have a sense. You know, women know.
Wait a minute. So he sounded just like me? Come on. No, I didn't. Well, I didn't do that. Yeah, what I was saying is you need to call. I just don't want to know I don't want the name on the show. But what I told you to do was to contact law enforcement. It looks like you did it in sort of a roundabout way that maybe it'll get to him. Sounds like they took it seriously, anyways. So.
Oh no, they took it very seriously. They took down every bit of information.
Yeah.
We talked for probably 35 minutes.
Oh, awesome.
No lie. It was wonderful. And I told them every doubt I had, every reason I had to want to enforce it. But I just wanted to thank you. I really did. Because you kind of gave me the I've never done it. It's been all these years.
What made you? Somebody wanted to know. KT in the chat wanted to know what took you so long to call in. Were you scared or what was?
Oh, I was scared to death because my boyfriend kept saying, "Come on, that's my buddy." No.
You know what I did? You know what I just did? I did one of the errors that interviewers did. I fed you a line. I should have just said, so what made you wait so long? And that's it. I said, were you scared? And you go, yeah, I was scared. Well, see, then now we don't know if I gave you that information or not. See, that's what happens a lot.
No, I was afraid. I was afraid. How can you not be afraid to actually call in on somebody who's very personable, very publicly, liked, just a huge person in the community? That happens.
Yeah, listen, I hope you didn't tell them that I told you to call 911.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Grace said that this YouTuber, he told me to call 911. But hey, I didn't do that.
You gave me the confidence because it was like I was so afraid. I've had icky feelings about this person for so long. Icky even to me, and I'm his age. And it was gross. and the things that I've heard him say. And so it was like, okay, if this coincides, and I'm not sure, allegedly, if this coincides with the time that
Wait a minute. You just said allegedly. You just said allegedly. That's part of the new channel. So mean allegedly.
Exactly.
However, the word allegedly, apparently, if you listen to the voice analysis, it has the ly at the end. And every time ly is used, it's necessarily a lie. Okay?
A lie,
so
right.
when you say allegedly, which means that the facts are maybe suggesting this, it means they're not suggesting that, so it's the exact opposite. Man, that's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to say allegedly Lee. You go allegedly Lee to reverse the lie. Okay, you got that? Yeah.
No, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. But this is why we love you, Gray. No, I'm just saying, I'm not accusing anybody, but I felt so strong for the first time in all these years, and went ahead and just explained everything, and why everything happened, and why I felt icky all the time, and everything just it floodgated, and it was because of you. I just wanted you to know that. That's all.
Well, cool. I'm glad I helped give you some courage to call in there. And I hope that you just happen to get the right guy. How cool would that be to solve the case? I mean,
oh my God, it doesn't. That doesn't matter to me, neither here or there. But if they could actually solve it for these babies, it's like I've told you before. I've raised 2 daughters. I can't even imagine what parents go through. I can't imagine. It just, my children are adults. They're married. It's sickening and it's horrible, but.
Well, here's what we should do is if they call you back in a week or anytime this week, then call back in next week and tell us if they haven't called you, you don't need to call in about it. But if they call you in, call us back and then tell us kind of what kind of questions they asked. As they wanted more clarification on that kind of thing. All right.
Oh, well, definitely.
Yeah.
I gave him, I gave them his first and last name.
Yeah, but they might call you back up to get more specific information, something like that.
Exactly. I will definitely let you know if I'm allowed to or whatever. But no,
even if you're not allowed to, I expect you to. I'm just kidding.
Of course you do. Of course.
Even if you're not allowed. Yeah.
No, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I feel like a weight has been lifted. I just wanted you to know that, and I wanted your callers to know that.
Well,
and your followers to know that. It's been wonderful.
Well, awesome. Well, I'm glad it helped you out a little bit. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
See ya. That's pretty cool. Us freaks gave her the courage to call in, and I might have called the tip line, but it seemed like they're ready for it in Indiana. I bet you they said, listen, if somebody calls in about the Delphi case, we don't give a damn. They probably even talk about that in meetings, and they go through and tell them what other kinds of questions to ask, and they probably have a sheet in front of them, because people might not have the tip line number right in front of them, and they just want to call in. So I would imagine that that's why they were so prepared for that. 35 minutes of questioning? Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I like that. Got a few more minutes for some trolls to call in if you'd like to. Make sure to get that dislike count up there. How many dislikes do we have now? Hopefully about 75. So here we go. Let me get let's get some likes up here. And dislikes. Okay, here we go. Hit that dislike, hit that like, hit that dislike, hit that like, hit that dislike, hit that like, hit the like, hit the dislike, hit the like, hit the dislike, like, hit the dial, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, hit the dislike, dislike.
30, now 5, I'm 35.
Only 53? We have 281 likes, for God's sakes. What's going on, people? Yeah. Have you watched The Shack? I haven't seen it yet. I think the connection would just be sort of like redemption, appealing to their religious side, like, hey, you know, you can be redeemed if you come forward, and maybe if they go watch it, or... Alright, we'll do one more. Let's see if we can get up to 300 likes at least. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, or hit that dislike, dislike, 1, hit the like button, hit the like button, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Alright, there you go. Oh, we got up to 296. We just got 4 more to go. Keep going. There we go, 299, and... Come on, one more! Pow! 300, everybody. Alright. 304. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, it would be great, Don. Yeah, I just don't want to hear about them on... See, I'm doing what you're supposed to do. Okay? I don't want to hear about the suspects. That's why I don't like the Facebook posts when somebody does the... Wow, everybody. I'm just not sure. And they type in a long thing. Should I call... how about this? Why don't you send it to them and see what they say instead of posting it on Facebook? Okay, you didn't need to do that. Now this one, that's why I just said call it in, because people do that, and I don't want to hear all the little details and things that you might know, because you might accidentally say the name in the middle of the conversation. What do you mean, Harvey? Nobody cares. Man, that's that Godfrey guy. You know what he does? He spends about 10 hours a day creating new accounts just for my show. How scary. Oh, shoot. Well, you know what? Did I miss anybody during the super chats? Because the it's not going to be on here again. Ah, crap. Let me see if they fix that other page. I still got another hour or so on here, so if you guys want to call in and tell your thoughts, I'll go back over the whole story again for anybody new that might be here. Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Did they fix it? And no, they did not. They did not. Okay, so they didn't fix the super chat error, so I can't go back. Yeah, I think John Lorden is, you know, I think he's the best of the video makers of true crime. He's just, you know, he's not a woman who's also doing makeup, doing true crime, because they get like 500,000 subs just like that. And you know what the reason is? It's because one time I actually asked somebody, why do people, what's going on over here? And they said, well, I like to watch to see what kind of makeup she's wearing, and then the kind of clothing and that. And I'm like, what? Whoa, wow. So definitely don't have an advantage if you're not a oh god, here we go. This is another fake morph person. So there we go. There we go. Yeah, if you're I'm thinking of actually doing some augmentation of some sort. Yeah, no, it's pretty weird. You know, it's pretty weird, but that is how it is, I guess. Yeah, do a video on what kind of clothing. What are you talking about, Falcon? What are you talking about? Yeah, I think you spelled it wrong there. I'm going to have to remove that comment because it sounds bad. Type it in again. Alright. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. So they just get like sub. Boom, like that, right? I know, but you spelled it wrong, Falcon. You put a K instead of a J on the first name. Right? Well, cool. I'm sure a lot of the freaks found John Lorden through me, I'm sure. Well, we're totally different. I do a live show every single day about different cases. By the way, remember the one last night when we were looking at Missouri and I found that there's a young girl that and then it looked like it was a lot more busy. Well, it turned out to be, so I went and got a whole bunch of links on that. So I might be doing that one tomorrow, depending on what's going on. Oh yeah, it's going to be the Grant Hughes makeup channel. Oops. Hello, 502, you're on. Pretty good.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, who's this? I don't think so. Bill who? Bill Clay? No, is it Bill Clay or Bill Clay? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who that was. I got rid of that sucker right off the bat. Okay. And if it's not, hey, sorry about that, but you sounded exactly like the guy who says his dad and his son are the killers in the Delphi case. He didn't even have 1 second on the air this time. Pretty sweet. Let's see. You know when he said his name is Bill, and I said Bill Clay, and he goes, no, Clayton. Well, now you know he's not real, right? What are the odds that he happened to have this? And the reason I said Clay is because that's from Die Hard. What's your name? Bill. Or no, he said it perfect accent. Bill. And he looks up. Bill Clay. And then he looks up on the and sees a William Clay, and he's like, okay, yeah. Hans! Right? That's right. That's exactly right. Bill Clay. So I said, is your last name Clay? Bill Clay? And he goes, no, Clayton. Now, come on. That's when you know right then it's not the right, you know. Yeah. Shoot the glass. Let's see. All right, here we go, everybody. Oh, man. 567. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello to Grant Hughes.
Who is it?
It's Stephanie calling.
Oh, Steph. What's going on? How's it going?
I hope it doesn't sound bad. I'm driving home. I hope it doesn't sound bad. But yeah, I've been listening, and oh man, can I just make a couple of bullet points here?
Sure.
Okay, number one, I noticed that when Gray started, this isn't directed at you, Gray, you know I love you. Okay. When Gray started regularly donating to other organizations and then opened up his donations to allow Freak members and anybody else who watches the channel to contribute to that, what we all saw, meaning Freak family, regular viewers, people who love and support Gray, what we saw was the opportunity to be a part of something that's much bigger than ourselves. So what everybody else saw was like, cha-ching, cha-ching, money, money, money. That makes them a problem, not Gray. Number two, Gray is not going to these other, shall I say, not as good channels and asking them to collaborate with him. They're pissed off because Gray doesn't want trash on his show. Number three, whenever Gray teams up with somebody like Chasing Truth, who I love, by the way, I never saw her channel until Gray collaborated with her because I'm smart and I only follow somebody who gives back. which would be great. And now I love her. So now I see today that they have a show together, collaborating, and here come the trolls again. Why would that be? Well, my opinion only, not allegedly, my opinion, because Gray's not going to them saying, hey, you want to collaborate and team up? Number 4, why don't I watch those other channels? Well, because whenever they've got their names smeared all over the place, talking about going in and out of jail, not being an upstanding citizen, getting in and out of trouble, it kind of makes them a little sketchy off of that. So we don't hear crap like that going around about Gray. And last but not least, number 5, is it Gray who's stealing other people's hard work? Did Gray sit on the internet and just kind of be like, well, let's search up Delphi and see who put a lot of time and energy into content that we can steal to put on our channel, and either A, make it seem like it's ours, or B, twist the narrative to give it a whole new story and then create titles that go with it. None of that shit applies here. So for all the trolls who got nothing better than do on Sunday than try to trash Gray, why don't you take lessons from Gray and maybe give back to the community, give back to groups, do something to be bigger than what you are, maybe give credit instead of stealing his stuff that he puts all of his energy into. And maybe Delphi is just something that's like an itch that Gray can't scratch. I mean, I buried a child. A lot of other people on this channel have buried children. And if there was anything Gray was doing that was disrespectful to Living and Abby or their families, I would not have an interest in watching Gray's channel. So all the trolls, my opinion, all you guys do is bring viewers. That's it. You guys run out there and run your mouth, spew your bullshit. You guys are like the twat waffles of the world, man. That's what it is. And nobody's mad. Nobody's even aggravated. Thank you for putting Gray's name out there. Because the more people that come, are more people that are going to contribute. They're even if you're out there saying negative shit about Gray, people are still going to look him up, and then they're going to compare him to the person who's saying the bullshit. And what's going to happen? They're going to be like, well, Gray seems like a pretty upstanding guy. He's got a big following. He's doing something pretty big and pretty great. Maybe that other person is just trash. We don't like trash. We take the trash and we can put it in a trash.
Wow, look at Steph May coming in with the haymakers.
I mean, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Yeah. Not in a way like I want to get even. I'm pissed in a way of like, how stupid can these people actually be? They're just stupid. They're just dumb.
No,
even law enforcement works with Gray. Even law enforcement says,
yeah,
hey,
not all the time, but like sometimes they have on a couple different occasions, but it's not like all the time. But they don't think I'm like they don't go, oh God, Gray's I don't know about that. I mean, I've actually they've communicated with me and said, hey, that was pretty good. That was good. Hey, stuff like that. So it's not I don't know. I'm not a detective or anything like that. But here's the thing: is I can figure shit out. I have done crime scene reconstruction better than the one that we watched the other night. By the way, on that that show about that other case, it was kind of funny. I was like, man, I could have made one that.
I gotta play catch up. I've been for like 2 weeks.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of what I've done a few different times, and that's about it. But I've also been covering true crime for. Gosh, I don't know, 8 years, 9 years now. So many different cases that I have a pretty good feeling and a feel for what likely happened in a case. But sometimes I'm not right. The Wilma Ball case the other day, I thought it was a family member trying to take out the younger wife of their 90-year-old dad or somebody who died, and because they wanted to. These kids are 60 and wanted the life insurance policy, but it turns out that was just my theory. But it turns out it was his neighbor, just a young neighbor, like a 30-year-old or whatever. He went over and killed her. I wasn't even close on that one. I mean, who in the hell would ever even picture that would be the case? And they made it look like a rape of she's 82 and he's like 30. Pretty weird.
I have one more bullet point because of something that you just said that I didn't even acknowledge, but I know is fact. Again, fact, not alleged, not even my opinion, but fact. Here's something else about Gray's channel versus trash. Gray doesn't put shit out there saying he's former police, law enforcement. He doesn't say he's an ex-bounty hunter. He doesn't say he's an ex-anything. He says, I'm Gray, and I've been doing true crime for a long time, period, and that's it.
That's
so,
it. There you go.
Thank you for reminding me of that one bullet point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying. Now, so when people send money in, they know that they're supporting my channel and charities, right? Like, there isn't anybody that thinks...
100%.
Nobody thinks when they donate to my channel that every single nickel goes right to the charities. It's just that they know that a portion, a large portion, by the way, like 40 to 50% of the actual net income off of YouTube goes to charity. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
100%.
Right? Yeah. So everybody knows that.
If they ever try to say, "Oh, I didn't know that," that's bullshit. They're lying or they're stupid.
Well, right. I only say it.
You put it out there.
How many shows a week do I say that on, everybody? Type in a number. How many
7.
shows a week do I say that
7.
exact sentence?
If they don't type 7, there's something wrong with them.
I would say minimum of 5, but 7, yeah.
It's a ticker that runs across the bottom, and the last day of every month, you will catch Gray live, actually making the freaking donation. Like, it's so transparent. Only an idiot is going to be that Gray doesn't tell everybody. I make my donations, and I generally, maybe not all the time, but I generally put in there for support of Gray, his channel, and contribute. I love Gray. I love Gray's channel. I need Gray's content in my life because it's fact. It's fact. It's not bullshit. It's not made up. It's not, it's not that. It's what we need to remain vigilant in the world, to know what's going on. I happen to find that a lot of times there's crimes going on that, as me, a single grown-ass woman, would have never thought. I would have never thought some of the crap that people were doing was actually happening. Yeah. I mean, it makes me more vigilant, makes me more aware of what's going on. It makes me feel safer. I feel I'm, a lot more equipped to protect myself and my family members, especially when I'm traveling. I mean, there's so much good coming from this channel. And the jealousy, they are just running around dripping in jealousy. Like, Gray wakes up every morning, he takes a shower in awesome sauce. He gets on the freaking internet. He finds all the truth. He puts it together in videos, spends all of his hours of his day doing this stuff. I mean, if somebody's got a problem with, they need to go take a good long look in the mirror. They're the problem. We need this channel, and we're not going anywhere. And if you don't like it, do what I did. I've seen lots of other channels, and after just a few minutes, that's some bullshit, and I clicked off of it, and I never watched it again. Why do I go to Gray? Because it wasn't bullshit and never is.
Wow. I got a full ad from you.
Yeah, there's a lot. I could go on and on and on. I like being a room guy.
So what's going on? You just got done with one of your trips, or what?
No, I've been off work for all this time. I had a cousin, because I was 28, perfectly healthy. And his wife is very, very sick right now.
Well, what do they think? Why do you think he? I mean, usually it's a comorbidity of somebody that young, but there was nothing.
Nope, nothing. 28, perfect. He was a little. They said he was a little overweight, but I mean, he didn't. He didn't have any children yet, so he didn't even have the dad bod going on yet. He just, he started a new business. He had purchased a pizza place. I don't want to say which one, but they're not really sure. So far, like, all the doctor's reports are not showing anything that would have caused COVID to turn so fast. But it definitely was the Delta variant. Yeah, I'll email you the details on it, because there's a lot of stuff I don't want to say because of all the censorship and things like that. Like, I don't want to say, but I was surprised, and if I wouldn't have heard it from the doctor myself, I probably would have not believed it. But now I've got 4 other family members that are, he got sick, and then very quickly he was in the hospital, and then very quickly on a ventilator, and then very quickly on bypass machines, and whatnot. And so, like I said, the other 4 right now, 3 of them are kind of going down that path, but a little bit slower. So we're just, I'm driving to work right now. I'm heading south. I'm going to try to make 2 runs before I get another call, to go set with family. So we all had to get tested because we were.
Well, I appreciate you're always so generous too, and you're always so supportive. You always say such nice things.
It's important to me. It is so important to me, not just because of the donations. I mean, that is absolutely important to me. Ray does all the work for me. I just send him the money. But it's also as equally important to support Ray's channel, period. And if somebody doesn't feel that way, that's cool, whatever, go somewhere else. But, nobody's going to tell me what to do about it and judge away. But I'm just going to look at you and say, you jealous, you mad, bruh, because I'm not sending it to you. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Well, we sent 500 into RAIN tonight. That's the Violence Against Women organization. So we're doing pretty good. That's just tonight. Tonight's not donation. We're probably going to do one more during next weekend, and then the rest will be on the last day of the month.
Cool. Hey, I sent in the last one I did, I think it was 20. I just wanted to get your attention, but maybe think on it. You don't have to answer now, but maybe end of the year we can do like a virtual party.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Celebrate all of our accomplishments and all the things that we've done for people.
Well, here's what I'm really hoping is that by that time we'll be on the route or have figured out the 1961 hitchhiker. That identifiers will have identified the one that we funded. Wouldn't that be amazing? By that time, that'd be sweet.
It would. Yeah. It would. I know. I was talking to a lot of people at the hospital before they kicked us out and went on lockdown, and then at the hotel. And there was a couple times that there's a group of us in one room started to watch. And then something happened. We'd have to turn it off. But so the doctors and nurses and stuff that were kind of locked in with our family there for a few days, they were kind of like, "This is awesome. You mean you can fund specific cases that you want?" that you want the DNA ran on? I said, apparently so. Gray makes that happen, man. You should just be part of Gray.
Yeah. Well, the way it kind of works is we've, let's see, there's cases out there that don't have the funding, and then I think we did a show where Colleen told me some cases out there that don't have the funding, and then we reviewed them on the show, and we all said, yeah, let's do that one and that one. And so we've got 2 of them right now, or I've actually sent them some, and there's even another YouTuber out there that had a case, and we're trying to work that through the system. Apparently, they're going to try to reach out to Colleen. I don't know if they've already got the funding or anything like that, but whatever it is, we'll figure out a way to do it. So there you go. It might be 2 months, for sure. 2 months where nothing goes to anything but that. But I think it's really important to give somebody their name back or help solve a murder. Don't you? Yeah.
I could not agree more. I absolutely could not agree more. I'm also anxious to see how, like with this case specifically, I not only want to help put a name to a face and see justice served, watch an animal get locked up, but I'm also interested in how one person's DNA could potentially lead to other crimes. I think it'd be really cool if one of the cases that you pick, later down the road, if not this one, does something like that. I will be so flippin' excited. I probably will send you my whole daggone paycheck.
Oh, you have to do that. But we've got 3 of them really, because we did the Summit County John Doe. That one's still in the process with the DNA Doe project. But then we also have one of them's a John Doe, the hitchhiker, so there's no crime in that one. But the other one is a crime. They found body parts in like 2 years apart in different bags, but they're from the same person. So they don't know who that is, and we're identifying that person. So that's a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. Oh, I thought there was a crime to that. I thought that there was a.
No, there is one in that. No, there is one in that one. Yeah. No, the one in the hitchhiker one doesn't have one, but the one with the body parts that is a crime. I mean, how do you get into bits and put into bags? So as soon as we get that name, as soon as we get the name of that, they get the name of that person, then there'll be an investigation that might lead to somebody. Right?
Well, I'm hoping. I'm definitely not going anywhere. I'm going to see this all the way through and be here for the next one and the next one. It's just exciting.
It's great.
So exciting.
It's really awesome.
Every day, especially during the lockdown, it's easy to start to feel very small and insignificant and like maybe you've lost your purpose or, like you're just not accomplishing things other than going to work and paying bills. And I think it's amazing whenever you find something like this, where so many people are collabing together and have made it, I'm not a police officer, I don't have any capability. I'm just a 5 foot tall, 100-pound girl. I don't have the capability of going out with the Superman cape on trying to hunt the bad guys down. But the first time donating, the second time donating, and then, seeing Colleen Fitzpatrick come on and, answering all the questions. I mean, it does make you feel less insignificant, and it does 100% make me personally feel like there really is a bigger purpose in this world. And, we've all got kids, family members. I mean, I want the world safer. I want all these effing monsters off the street. Yeah. So,
well, I think everybody feels, I feel great every month, like, wow, can you believe that? We're still, look at all this, we're helping out with all the donations. But imagine how great we're going to feel when we solve, we funded the solving of some of these DNA cases. I mean, it'll just be like, woo! I mean,
for sure.
It'll be amazing.
For sure, especially identifying the parts. I mean, we talked about it before. I think I called in one time and talked about it. How, even Abby and Libby, like today being Sunday, even with their murder and all the questions that come with it. I mean, there was a time that I really that losing my son the way, from just a tragic accident could possibly get any worse in a dark place. Kind of like, how do you get back up after something like that? I mean, we talked about that. But then hearing just a few months later about this tragic incident with Abby and Libby broke my heart all over again. But it also made me look at least I know what happened to my son. You know what I mean? At least I know what his last words were. At least I know, all of those things about his death. And it made me not only more empathetic and sympathetic, but it made me want to find this guy and help find justice for Abby and Libby's families, because they deserve that. Everybody deserves that. But, it helped get me off my freaking butt. And a flyer in Peru, Indiana, Grant Hughes investigates. I still don't know who put him out. I've asked around. I have no idea who did that, but that's what brought me here. I've just been super passionate about truth and justice and, the evilness in the world. People that are they just prey on victims. They're evil. I don't like them. I want to get them off the streets, and then, here we go, I want to work on the trolls. Get them street justice in these YouTube streets.
All right.
Trash. Took the trash out right before I left my house.
All right.
So anyway, Greg, I love you. I love the freaks. We're not going anywhere. You have the most loyal following ever.
Well, we all love our Steph May. Wait, you only weigh 100 pounds? Yeah, it's kind of weird if you only weigh 100 pounds and you're running a freight train. It just
I know, right?
I think it would look funny. Like, wow, look at that.
It does.
How's that happening?
It does. Listen, I went to the gas station the other day, driving home from Columbus, and my railroad ID fell out of my wallet when I went to pay for gas. And this chick, oh, God, love her. I love women like that. I'm trying to build them up, not break them down. But she was like, oh, you work on the railroad? And I said, yeah. And she goes, so, like, do you drive them around? I was like, no, lady, that's a cab driver. She goes, what do you do? I said, I drive the train. She about fell out. She said, but you ain't the little bitty thing. I was like, I know, but I do it. Yeah. Like, it was just so funny, but that's what everybody says. Yeah, I'm 5 foot tall. I just weighed myself 104.
Yeah, she was on.
But I hadn't pooped yet,
you came on Halloween last year, so hey, Halloween's coming up, everybody. So we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, whatever we're gonna do. Nobody can dress up like Gray because you guys all freaking killed it last year.
Yeah, last year I had I'm going to probably do it again, but I had an entire green outfit on, so that you couldn't even see me really. I think you could see my eyeballs or something. I don't know what it was, but
yeah,
it was pretty
funny
weird.
Guy.
Yeah.
And then who was it? There was 3 people that dressed up like you. They were so good too.
I think
I can't remember now.
I think Kit.
I would know them if I seen them.
Kit Kat.
Yep.
Also, who the heck? It was.
Oh gosh, the one girl. She was doing crafts. She's funny. She's so funny. Dana.
Yeah. Dana Dane was on there. Yep, Dana Dane. Yeah, Kubi was on there, and also.
Yeah, Kubi.
Yeah, and also there was somebody else. It was like Dadio Caspian Horses Rock.
Linda. Didn't Linda House stop in?
I don't know, did she?
I thought Linda House stopped in. Zozo said she was going to stop in, and then she bailed on us.
She's a big. Zozo's a big talker. She's a big talker. Never does it.
Zozo always bails on us. I feel cheated. Cheated.
Yeah, I want to do it where we're just on the whole time. It could be this massive. It's going to be on Zoom, but we could have 10 people on or 20, whatever. Just to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's all do it. Let's have
okay,
fun.
Zozo, you better do it this time.
Zozo better be there. Don't say it.
She says, "I'm down, but let's see." Be
like the trolls.
Okay.
And we'll even invite the trolls. If any of the trolls would like to come on, we'll so invite you, and we'll rip you to shreds and send you back home for your breast milk.
Chew them up and spit it out and repeat it. Yeah.
Right.
That's on the.
Make sure you get a good dose from your mama before you show up.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right.
I'm coming for you in these streets. Hey, I love the idea of chasing truth. When I saw you collab with her on the first, well, I don't know if it was the first, but the Summer Wells, a while back.
Well, her and I have been friends
I was like, where's this lady?
Well, we've been friends for years. She used to be more conspiratorial, but I sort of, I mean, she says it anyways. I mean, I think it's probably true, but now she's more factually looking at stuff. So I think that's a good.
Yeah, I've been able to catch
a good rubbing off on somebody.
Yeah, I like her. I really like her. I like it. She doesn't put up with any shit. She's pretty straightforward.
We're really similar in a lot of ways. That's why we get along. She even talks the same. Gets rid of trolls just like
neither
that.
One of you.
Boom.
I really like it. I like this, and I wasn't sure if that was like an episode, a show, or like one collab. But it's
called the new channel's called. The new channel's called So Mean, allegedly. Okay, so that's the name of the channel. Okay, we were supposed to do one today, but things came up, and she had to do work, and her family's got COVID and so forth, so they're just dealing with that.
That's why I didn't want to tell you the details and stuff. It's like I just didn't want to talk a whole lot about it because I want to be respectful of her family, with stuff, that and the censorship and stuff, but I'll email you some info. But yeah, she's great. I don't know if she's here tonight or not, but I like that she doesn't explain herself. I hate that. I hate that when people come at you like you need to explain something to them. You don't owe no damn body, no damn explanations about no damn nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
They
owe explanations for even thinking that they should ask. Gray Hughes don't owe nobody no damn nothing. If you don't like it, don't freaking watch.
That's right.
Go somewhere else with your bullshit negativity. We don't have time for it here. We're going to roast you. From now on out, when the trolls show up, there's like 6 of us that are coming for you. And I'll put my face on here. I don't care. It's going to do nothing to me. I got Gray Hughes on my side. But anyway, y'all have a great night.
Well, you too.
I'm going to watch your show while I'm cruising through Columbus.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. And sorry about your relatives there. It sucks.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do. It's terrible. I'm trying really hard to. I'm just not thinking about it right now. I've had enough of it. I know when I need to take like a mental health break. As terrible as it sounds, when I start thinking about it, I just I go somewhere else. Put Gray Hughes on and I watch shows. Oh wait, I got one thing. Really quick. Did you hear? I live in Ohio. That's all I'm telling folks. But did you hear that there is a new potential suspect in the Amy Mihaljevic case?
Is that new? Like right away, new?
In that Amy
Yeah, I know who Mihaljevic is. How new are you talking about?
Yeah, and I heard today from. I'll tell you in
Amy
email,
Marie.
I know. Yeah, Mihaljevic. Yeah. So this is what I heard. I have a friend who has a brother who is, law enforcement up in Bay Village, which is not very far from where I live at. And there was somebody, I guess there was a woman either last year or several months ago that sent in a tip. And it was just the woman was either in relationship with or married to a guy. And so they split up recently. And so apparently she tipped in that she thought that he was the suspect.
I think I heard that a while ago. I don't know if that's right now coming out.
No. Well, what I heard today, like an hour and a half ago, was that they had questioned him. They asked him for DNA, and he gave it, and they got it back, and that he is the person.
Oh, come on! Come on!
I heard it today. Like I said, allegedly, whatever you want to call it. I can't say yes or no. I heard this an hour and a half ago.
Was it on the news? Was it on the news?
No. That's what I've been waiting to hear. That's what I was asking you about. No, the person I heard it from has a family member who is law enforcement in Bay Village, in the city where.
So maybe it's not out yet. Well, I hope you got accurate information from that person, because that would be. That means it would have, because I've heard this story, that first part, but I hadn't heard.
You did?
The first part where there was a woman who said her husband. I think that story was from a couple months back. But if they just did
I never heard that.
No, but the DNA part of it, if that might have been new. But I don't know. I don't want to say that's a fact without. There's no articles in the media, but maybe you have inside info from the family member of the police officer, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I do or not. What I'm gonna do, what I told her was I was gonna ask you, because you seem to have insight into everything and everybody and all of the things. But I asked her. I said, can you ask your family member who is a police officer? Can you ask that person? For a name, or when is it going to hit the news? Is it going to,
I get that.
I wanted to know when, where, and what. And she's like, yeah. And then I said, hey, if he's the arresting officer, can I get a copy of the body cam footage for Grace channel? She kind of laughed at me, but I was like, no, really. I said, I want to let Gray know right away if something like this is going down.
Man, well, I hope that's accurate information, because we covered that one a while ago. Twice, couple times, many times. But.
Yeah, I saw that you did shows on it. And like I said, I don't know 100% yes, that's fact, or no, that's not. I don't know. That's what I heard today from somebody that I do know.
Well, James Renner would be really happy about that. James Renner, he's been doing that one forever. But, yeah.
And I'm telling you, I think the whole state is going to celebrate, because this one has really ate.
Yeah.
This ate at the hearts of a lot of us for a long time.
It's a pretty crazy one.
I mean, she was a year younger than me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, she's a year younger than me. I cannot imagine all these years that she's, been cheated out of.
Yeah, that's a terrible story.
I hope, fingers crossed, it's reviewed and that the rumor is truth and not just some made up bullshit.
Well, I hope you're right too. So message me if you get an answer.
I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as I find out, I'm going to find out here, and I'm going to let you know.
Okay, cool, and I'll feed it along. But thank you for all your kind words and your support and everything. I really appreciate it. Good stuff.
Yeah, I love you, Gray. I love all my freaks. I love the channels. I love the trolls. And all that attention stuff.
Oh, we all love you too. So have a good one. All right, be safe.
Bye-bye.
Drive safe. All right, bye-bye.
Will do. You too. Bye.
Steph May. Words of encouragement. Nice call. Yeah, it's weird the different perceptions people have. Yeah. I would love to work with other true crime people in general, but I just don't feel like it. I mean, if people put out stuff that's just, wow. Why would I want to work with those people? See, that's the thing is, I don't know, man. I don't think people are required to work with other people. Now, there's other people that I would, right? Like if Morph said, hey, Gray, let's go do this. Hell, I'd do that in a second. John Lorden says that I'd do it in a second. Morph doesn't even have a big YouTube presence. But I just respect the guy. Like I know who he is. I know what he's talking about. He doesn't make up a bunch of bullshit. Okay? So you got that. And so what's weird is people want you to work with people who put out utter nonsense. Why am I required to do that? And if I don't, oh, you're just not trying to help, Gray. No, thank you. So here we go. For those that are new and don't know this, I'm going to go through this really quick again. All right, so this is on February 13th, 2017. Abby and Libby, it was like a sleepover deal situation. Libby's over at, or Abby's over at Libby's house where she lives with her grandparents, who are the legal guardians. Derrick, I think, lived there too, but he isn't the legal guardian, but he is the biological father of Libby and Kelsey. So they decided, hey, let's go to the bridge today, take some pictures. They were doing stuff around the house for Becky's work. And she said, well, you can go to the bridge if you get a ride there and a ride back. And Derrick was heading into Frankfort, Indiana, which is way down here, like this, into this town, to take some photographs for Becky's appraisal business. And my mom used to be a real estate appraiser, so I was like, yeah. So he drove all the way down there, and then they got a ride. So they got a ride there from Kelsey, and then we're going to get a ride back from Derrick. Derrick was going to be back in an hour and a half to 2 hours. So they left the house at about, probably, I bet you it's similar time that Derrick left. I don't know that, but I'm just saying that's the only way you could time it up like that. So let's say they left the house at 1:25. They drive on this green route, then it overlaps with this other alternate route that they could take, but they didn't. They took the green route. Then they drive right by the cemetery here, park right here at 1:37. They get out of the vehicle. It's possible, I think law enforcement believes that possibly they talked to the killer somewhere along this way. The girls walked out this way on the bridge just past platform 2. Libby's in front of Abby, takes a picture of the full length of the bridge. Then she's still in front of Abby, walks over to the 3rd platform, turns around and takes a picture of Abby back this way. That's the one that was at 2:07 timestamp. So that means a half hour after they were dropped off, they were only right there, but walking continuously, it would only be about 7 or 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes to walk from here to here. So there's about 20 minutes of missing time in there. Then they probably just kept walking across the bridge, and then at a certain point the killer was walking behind him and maybe sort of corralled them. They kind of went off to the end hoping he would just turn around at some point, but they didn't. And then Libby was off the end of the bridge first right here, and then Abby was still on the bridge. I put her here just for this video, but she was about right there-ish when the killer was just past platform 6, about 60 feet away from the end of the bridge. And then he caught up to them, said, hey guys. Libby's holding the phone really low to her side, by the way. And then as he gets closer, she kind of hides it next to her, maybe puts the phone in her pocket. And then he says, hey guys, down the hill. So I actually think that at the time of down the hill, for sure, that the phone was already being concealed. Then they go down the hill, which would have led to the private drive right here. Really poor Google Earth map here. Then down the hill again to the lower level. And then my theory is that this was the location that the killer maybe was going to attack them. And maybe they tried to run and get across. But it's just as likely, to be honest with you. Wait, he's lying. He said to be honest with you. That he just forced them across the creek because he wanted to leave through this direction. So he forced them across the creek. Very, very isolated area there on private property, down a very steep bank. As we know now, at 2:20, the wind's blowing in this direction, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Any sounds being uttered from down here would most likely not be heard at all from the bridge, but sounds on the bridge would be heard down there. Cheyenne got to the parking lot at 2:45. She walked down here was probably in this area at 3 o'clock, and then on the bridge and doing things, taking pictures at the same time that the killer's over here. And you may have heard her. There was even a couple on the bridge even before she got there. And so she walked, all the way across. She took a photograph, literally, which means I'm lying again by saying literally, but she took a photograph from this platform right here, platform 5, back that way. That's where the railroad tie was driven into the bridge, was right there. So it's very close to the end of the bridge. And, then the girls went missing. Apparently Cheyenne walks back here. Derrick got here at 3:15, just 30 minutes after Cheyenne did. He went to this area, ran into the flannel shirt guy, and the flannel shirt guy, which is one of the McCain brothers, he said, well, I saw a couple at the bridge. Not under the bridge, as we now know. A couple at the bridge. Then, because McCain also said, I didn't see anybody else, he went, well, shit, I'm not going to go to the bridge then. I don't know if he said shit in his mind, but he, euphemistically, he just said shit, okay? I'm not going to go that way. They're not answering my phone calls. He tried calling twice, by the way. He tried calling at the Wilson Bridge right there. And then that was at 3:11. And then at 3:15 called 3:15 right here. And they did no answer each time. So he got out of his car, talked to the flannel shirt guy. He said he saw a couple at the bridge, but it was a heterosexual couple, man and a woman. So he went this direction. See, all this stuff lines up perfectly with all the witnesses. Then he walks down this way to look for them. And then he walks all the way back up, and he gets back up here at probably 3:30. But at this point, so it's interesting because Cheyenne had been there and had seen that couple already. That's the same couple that when McCain walked back and he was right here and Derrick ran into him, the same couple that he saw. So Derrick gets back up here at 3:30, and he then, I think he makes a phone call to Becky at this time, and they start driving around looking, and then he walks this direction to the Freedom Bridge to check to see if they went that way. Then he walked back, and then about 4 o'clock, he's over at his car, and then people start calling in, showing up. Phone calls are starting to be made, and, Kelsey left work. Everybody was out there looking. Kelsey and her, I'm not sure, her cousin, I guess, they walked across the bridge. And they didn't see anything. They did see a little trail there, though, when she thought back and remembered that she saw this dirt going down a hill there, which is kind of crazy, right? And so they didn't find them that night. Mike shows up, I think it was around 5:30 from work. He parked right over here at this property. And then they just disappeared. I did find out through a source that the killer was there for 20 minutes of the time Derrick got there. So think how crazy this is. Cheyenne got there at 2:45. She's still in the area all the way up to 3:40. Derrick got there at 3:15. So 20 minutes later would be 3:35. So that means the killer's right in the area as Cheyenne's walking back. I mean, it's just weird shit. Like, she's walking back to her car and he's somewhere over here too. But they could have easily missed each other if he left the crime scene, walked up like this, and then cut in over here, let's say, to get back around to maybe a car parked at the abandoned CPS building, right? But at this time, there's definitely some overlap going on. And it's weird because that means, you want to hear something creepy, is that when, let's see, Derrick 3:15, it's actually possible that the killer walked back, he was on the path again, while Derrick was down here on the 505 trail, that he got back on the path up here, and then Derrick was down here looking, because he went the other direction, remember? And then he walks back up and he gets back up here at around 3:30-ish. But the killer, again, there's 5 minutes right there. So he gets back up here at 3:30, 3:35. Then he goes to the Freedom Bridge. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. Yeah.
Recording stopped.
Yeah. So a lot of weird overlapping going on right there. And then later on, obviously the next day at around noon, there was a lot of people out searching. Apparently Kelsey was right around in this area at the time. And then somebody says, "Hey, we found a shoe." And then not too long after that, somebody saw the two bodies right over here. And then she quickly went away. I mean, Kelsey I think they sort of whisked her off at that point. But they were found right here. And they did find like some panties in the water. You can hear it on the scanner audio. A cigarette butt. Who knows what that is. A lot of people smoke, somebody could have thrown in the cigarette off of the Wilson Bridge and it would have drifted down. I mean, we just don't even know what that is. Panties, however, that's a pretty big deal. I think that very well could be related to one of the victims. So there's the quick breakdown. Yeah, I showed it to him. Don't worry about it, Brian. I got it. You can see it pretty easy on the screen. All right. Let's see. Let's get back. It's kind of amazing how many people were out there. Right at that time, like from 2:45 on, there's a bunch of people out there. We went over the Cheyenne comments, by the way, Brian, in that audio earlier. There's a lot of people that are out there. Now, you've got the flannel shirt guy. You've got the cheating couple that Cheyenne knew. And then I guess one of Cheyenne's friends, the way she worded it, that was one of her friends also showed up there too. But I wonder if she's actually referring to the couple, because she knew one of the people in the couple. So she kind of makes it not really simple to understand. Right? So, I mean, if you want me to do what you just said, I think it's kind of easy to see this trail though, like this. I kind of like the fact that you can see it so clearly. And then it goes around, and then if you cover it up, you can't see it anymore with a line on it. It's pretty simple to see, Especially when you use the April 2017 map. Yeah. So that's kind of the craziness of the case, is that there was a killer in the area who got them over here. I actually think now, as I said earlier, that had Abby and Libby walked down the 505 trail, that the killer would have came down here and killed them over here or somewhere down in this area. Right, right around in there. He may have even had them go across the creek right there, over here, and go over here somewhere. I don't know. But I don't think the bridge was ever part of a grand plan. And the reason I think that is because hardly anybody ever crossed that bridge. People would go onto the bridge and go to here and there and here, take some photographs from platform 1, 2, and 3, and then they'd go back because it's a scary bridge. All right. So the thing is he was just waiting for an opportunity to develop, and he was in this area, and he knew that there was nobody in front of him anywhere. There was nobody out here other than him and the two girls. And what's crazy is after The 207, he got up, I'm going to say 225, 220 over here, down the hill. Literally 20 minutes later, there are a couple here. Cheyenne's walking down. Derrick comes a little bit after that. So now there was 4, 5 people walking around. So I think that he would have gone either way here. I don't know why it's just always been like, oh yeah, he used the bridge and he trapped him. Well, come on. I mean, that means that you're not really nimble whatsoever. I mean, you're going to wait. How many days would you have to wait there for a single female or 2 kids or whatever to walk all the way across that bridge? I don't know. It just seems really dicey. It's almost like the Summer Wells case. I mean, how long would somebody have to sit around waiting for her, Summer Wells, to leave, be alone down in the basement and be like watching that? It's just, that part doesn't make a lot of sense. So there you go. There you go, everybody. It's already been 3 hours and 6 minutes. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to say your name, Brian. I did all I did was read her responses, okay? But I don't know if you want to. I mean, they were pretty interesting. One of the biggest points that was interesting. Well, let me see. Let me go look at that again. What was it one? Right, it's near the end here. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah, she says she was there that day. And one of the things too, she said that the part that's confusing about her is the timing of it, because she says she was there at 2:45, and then she says this one picture she took was at 3:49, but it doesn't match up. 3:49 doesn't match up with the shadows under the bridge of that time. It's the photo at the end of the bridge, right? Platform 5 that she says was taken with the well, a little bigger than that. The spike in the ground, isn't that the one that was taken at 2:49? I don't know which image said 2:49. 3:49 in me. I'm having a hard time making that work for her, because the shadow off of the spike image is probably around 310, 305, something like that. And then the one at the other end of the bridge it's not much different than that. Well, there's little metal barriers there, Zozo. They're not gated, though. Now they might be, but yeah, I think she did fix that. But 2:49, what image was that? Would that have been? Was that the first one? See, here's the thing. Let me try to find these images. I got it. Yeah, see this one right here. I think this is her first image. This one. I think this is the one that she took after she got onto the bridge and took this picture, and it's because of this shadow right here. Let me see if I still have that one so I can show you guys what I'm talking about here. Yeah, and I think if you zoom in here, you can see that is absolutely perpendicular to the bridge, right? This stand here. Okay, you can see that absolutely perfectly perpendicular to the bridge. The support cement, or whatever the hell you want to call it. The base. He doesn't have, there's hardly any DNA, Karen, so. Yeah, so I think that's the first one. And the reason I think that is because of the time the shadows are showing on that. I'll show you here in a second. It takes a while to load this program up because it's pretty massive. Well, anyways, I'll be back in a second. I'm going to use the facilities. Yeah, I don't see the where it didn't even open up while I was gone. Weird. Why not? No, they don't have enough. Hey, case cracked. I've already talked to you about this. They don't have enough markers. It's going to be really tough. Okay. Yeah, keep hitting that dislike button, trolls. Go ahead. I need more dislikes. They like it when it's more even. You know what's funny is they always think it's hurting your channel. It doesn't hurt at all. It helps. They're not worth as much, but if you really want to hurt, don't hit the like button. Or anything. They're so stupid. Oh, man. It's hilarious. I'm gonna really tell Gray I dislike him. Oh, but it helped him. Ah, shit. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm trying to open up 3D Studio Max right now. Might take a minute. Yeah, we did learn some stuff that a bike apparently rode by. I'm kind of wondering if there's a camera. We know that there's a camera on this building right here facing the road. We know that. So did a bike come by, and did they actually see him walking by here too? Wouldn't that be weird if he left through the cemetery and then walked all the way down the road? Because that would be less intimate. See, that's one of the things I brought up on a show recently. If you were walking by somebody on a trail, wouldn't it be more likely for them to be able to describe you than somebody driving by you on a road? And I think the answer to that is yes, on a trail. So maybe he thought, well, shit, if I walk on the road, nobody's going to even give a damn that I'm walking, and they sure as hell won't be able to recognize me. So he may have walked from the cemetery, perhaps, straight down, got right in his vehicle, and this camera here picked up a grainy version of him that isn't better than what they released, so aren't showing us that. And it also might not be smooth, like maybe it's 10 frames a second or something like that. Oh, okay. Alright, so here we go. Looks like we got something on the screen here. Open recent. There it is. No, not that one. I think it's this one. Here we go. Hopefully that made sense, what I just said. Yeah, he just doesn't want to talk about it. Alright, so look at you guys. So you can see that I have that perpendicular to the bridge. And then I could see how it's perpendicular to the bridge. It's on top of it, obviously, but it doesn't matter at all. Now, also, let me show you this. Okay, so that's the north-south orientation. Right there. So there we go, we've got that. And then if we go over to the, I think it's right here. Daylight system, right here. And I can show you what I got it set up to. Here it is. It's set to 3 o'clock, February 13th, 2017, and -5 time zone. Okay? And that's Greenwich time. And I think that's correct. I don't think, I don't need, if you hit the daylight savings time button, I think we figured it all out, that we got it right here, and I've got the correct latitude and longitude. So when you put when you render this scene here, watch what happens with the shadow right here. See the shadow coming right off of it? So let me do this a different way. Oh man, is that gonna work? If I go like that, yeah, it's brutal. Yeah, what happened to it? Everything just got shifted around. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so see on this right here, the shadow coming off of this? It goes at an angle off of the support blob, whatever the hell you want to call it, the stand right there. Okay, but it goes off and it gets wider. See, it's narrow there, wider, 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 and it extends out. There's a little bit of junk right here, so that it's not a smooth line there, but that's the angle of it. So if you go to here and let's say you run that again, hopefully you guys understand what the hell I'm doing here, and you run it, render the scene, and it puts the shadows in it, and see how the shadow is right along it. So that means it's not enough, it's not late enough. So what we had it set up to on here was, it's at 3 o'clock. So let's make that, how about 3:15? See what happens. Ah, come on. Yeah, see, there it is. It's coming off of it now. So I guess it's, let me see if I make this 3:49, just for the hell of it. Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that's not even close. See, we know, let me render that again and you'll see this, watch. Hey, Mary White, just pay attention to what we're doing here. But see, look at that right there, how it really goes off. But that is, you know, it's not ludicrously off from this. Look. See that? So wouldn't that be interesting if that was the last photo and that was 3:49? What do you guys think? I mean, earlier I wasn't sure about that. Look at that. See how the shadow's coming off of it? Doesn't that look pretty close right there? I know, so maybe that is 349. She did say that's when that was. And she literally I didn't either. I thought that was going to be way different. But that is similar. So what if she got there at 2:45 and left at 3:45-ish? That makes sense, right? An hour to take pictures. You know, you walk down the trail. Takes a lot longer to walk across the bridge. So I actually thought this was the first photograph, I think. I don't remember what I was thinking on the previous show, but that actually looks very close to the 3:49 time. I mean, that is right there. Okay, so we've got that one. So let's say that's the photo she took when she was leaving. And then let's see, is that it? That's the spike, let's say, okay? Let's maybe make it smaller. Doesn't matter where you put the spike, the sun's in the same angle. So let's put it oops, shit. Alright, so let's render this out. See, that doesn't add up at all to the shot. Let me get the image again. So here's the shot that's at the end of the bridge, taken on platform 5. And there's the railroad tie right there. Right there. Now that shadow, doesn't that appear to be almost straight off of it? I think that, I mean, that looks like that's the shadow. And let's see. Well, you know, you look at this thing, though, there's a shadow right there. That's not quite, but it also depends on the camera and how, you know, you got the edges that are fisheye crap. I don't know what's going on with that part, but that looks hard, like a 45. It also depends on the angle of the wood. Is there anything else on here that? So let's just say that is the shadow. It's pretty close to 90 degrees off of the side rail right there. So that means this is way off. And as we just saw a minute ago, I think if you turn this to make that, let's say 305 or 310, let's say, see what happens. Look at that. See how that one right there? So there you go. She walks onto the bridge, starts taking, you know, takes pictures, goes to the other side, takes pictures. She's maybe over there at 310. And then she's talking to her friends. And they took that last photograph at 3:49. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah, that's 3:10. Could be like 3 o'clock too, maybe. But she said she got there at 2:45. And that, you know, here's the thing. 2:45. Let me go back to the map. See, isn't this like real shit that we're doing on here? We're not talking about, now listen, that one girl wasn't even there. She disappeared off the face of the earth, and therefore we're able to... Right, okay. So she gets there at 2:45. 2:50, gets out of the car. It takes 6 minutes to walk slowly, get to the front of the bridge. 2:56 here. Did she see her friends there and talk to them? What happened? She said it took a lot longer to walk across the bridge than 5 or 10 minutes. Well, if she got right out of her car and walked to the bridge, she would have been there at 2:51, and that means 20 minutes later is 3:10 over here at this portion of the bridge. And that makes sense. And then there's another picture that was taken. She took another picture too. I don't have it here though. I don't think. Yeah. There's 3 Cheyenne photographs. But I think that means that she was over here at about 3:10. Let's just say between 3:05 and 3:15. Right over here. And then the last photograph she took was this one. The one that's right over here at 3:49. And then maybe at that point she sees those. Let's see. No, because there's a 3:15. That couple was probably there when she got there, I would think. Well, she was there. The girls could have already been dead by the time Cheyenne ever made it across that bridge. And to be honest with you, because when you say that, you're lying. At 2:40, when she got there at 2:45, I think there's a chance they weren't alive even at that time. Because they were taken down the hill maybe 3:20. I'm just guessing, estimating on that. But I would say almost certainly by the time she got across the end of the bridge. But it could be that her voice is what spurred him on to kill them quicker, because he could hear voices due to the wind. That's something we were talking about earlier, is the whole wind deal. Because there was about 9 or 10 mile an hour wind on that day shooting across this way, meaning that voices from here into the wind would be hard to hear if there was a yell. But the voice from the bridge to the killer would be easy to hear, but maybe slightly dampened by the water. Something like that. That a few people mentioned. Well, he didn't see the couple because he didn't go there. He might have seen them later, but Derrick never went to the bridge. He was told about the couple, so he goes, well, that's not Abby and Libby. So then he went down the 505 trail right there, and then back up here. But what's weird is the overlap time of the killer, since the killer was there apparently for 20 minutes of the time Derrick was there. Did the killer come back as Derrick was still down here walking up? I mean, it's right there, because he was 3:15 going down here. And then, that's almost a 20-minute walk to Derrick. I mean, it's bizarre, Wouldn't that be weird if Derrick actually saw the guy? And that's why he's not talking. Maybe he saw. I mean, I don't know, but he's right there. I think one of the things he just doesn't talk about is he feels bad. That's what I've heard. Yeah, so think about that. The killer's still in the area at 3 for 20 minutes. So I guess if the killer exited the crime scene, walked out to 300 and just kept walking down 300, Derrick could have been walking. Oh, wow, how creepy is this? Derrick and him could have been walking almost parallel. Like he's walking out here and Derrick's maybe a little bit further, because apparently he came back out here at about 3:30 and started walking. But if the killer's still in the area, he's got another 5 minutes in the area. So maybe he was a little bit ahead. So as Derrick came up here, the killer might maybe right there walking, goes to the car and drives away. I mean, they just missed each other, in my opinion. Weird, huh? Weird. All right, you guys. That's going to be it for the show tonight. Thank you guys for all the support. Nah, I don't think so, Brian. I just explained it. But yeah, hey, thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate it. We're going to do the... yeah, because he was 20 minutes. Yeah, whatever. It could be either, who gives a shit? Either he's behind him or not. I don't think he saw him. I just think they're right in the area at the same time. Okay? But I think it could be that the killer just walked down 300 here because you're not going to be recognized walking on a road, but you would be on a slow trail. People are walking, strolling along in a park, and you walk by somebody, they might notice you a little bit more as he's leaving. So I would think that it's very possible that he just kept walking down 200 here, and that's why, because they saw a guy on a bike. They didn't. The source didn't mention that they saw the killer again, though. They just know he was in the area for 20 minutes. Right, so it's very possible that he just walked right down 300, straight line. So the whole crime scene is the flow of it's kind of like a loop circle, boom, boom, boom. It's like this. Waits. Attack this way or whatever way they went, boom. Then around. And when I say whatever way, if the girls had gone down this way, he would have attacked them here. They went this way, he followed. Has them go across the creek, up to the cemetery, 200, back to the vehicle. I said it was a bicycle. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, I can't thank all the super chats again, but thank you, specifically Steph May for those really large super chats. Thank you very much. Very nice. And everybody else was very generous, too. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. I did get all the information that I could find on that one case that we randomly found using that database last night. That might be a pretty interesting one. Yeah, well, I hope you guys appreciate it. And, as the poll stated above, it seems like more people... I don't think when people put out false, ludicrous information that it should be allowed to stand by anybody. So if it's not, if you think it's like absolutely untrue and you know it's untrue, then don't let it stand. People should speak up on it. That's the truth. So I'm not one of those people that goes, yeah, just let everybody do their own thing, everything's cool. No, that's really, especially in the true crime genre, because you know what's interesting, everybody? There's the word true in true crime. Okay? Do you get it? The word true is in true crime. I mean, what is there? Fake crime? I mean, what the hell does that even mean? It's true crime. That means it's true, right? So let's try to keep that in mind every single time, right? All right, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And, as I always say, everybody, I mean, first of all, thank you guys, the generous freaks out there. You guys are, you guys make the cog of the show, keep on moving, turning around, doing whatever we're doing. Everything we're doing is because of the generous freaks. That's it. Okay? I'm doing the show that makes people want to help, and then we help. You get it? Like, we're making a difference no matter what happens. All right? No matter what. Even just all the donations that we've made to NCMEC, Texas EquiSearch, Libby and Abbey Ballpark, the DNA Doe Project before, but now we're putting our money into our own pool of money for identifinders. And so we're out there kicking ass. And thank you guys. It's all because of you guys. And that's it, man. We will see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Oh, and by the way, thanks, mods. You're always kicking some ass. Be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime detective, certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grego's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his vector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm a bartender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat, the troll is beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Staying in my groove, when there's a troll on the move, just takes a second to remove. Cause every time I conclude, the troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the sly. Why you think you're so fly? You're such a whiny cry. Battle me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify. Yeah, when I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat, the troll is beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Staying in my groove, when there's a troll on the move, just takes a second to remove. Cause every time you conclude, the troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the slack. Why you think you so fly? You're such a whiny cry. Battle me, you're gonna fly. Gonna send you out to mummify. Yeah, you still sound like a robot there, Timmy. Sorry, Timmy.
Well, what about me? I'm gonna try it. When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat, the troll is beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Staying in my groove, when there's a troll on the move, just takes a second to remove. Cause every time I conclude, the troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the slide. Why you think you're so fly? You're such a whiny cry. Battle me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify.
Hey, you know, that was pretty good there, John boy.
Yeah, I know it was.
Gee, you don't have to be so, egotistical about it? Gee.
Well, it was pretty good though, right?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, yeah.
Oh boy, come on. He was better than you, Mary Lou, okay? Let's be honest with you. Be honest with yourself, okay?
Just gonna task it, tit for tat with anybody who's done shit detected. Let's start it over, Gray.
Well, I wanted it to, so you guys could do Paul Revere.
Okay, cool. Here's a little story that I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well.
Got way back in history.
YMCA had me, Mike B.
Had a little horse, his name was Paul Revere.
Me and my horsey and a quart of beer, right across the land, kicking up sand, till possums on my tail, cause I'm in the land. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without nobody.
Someone's beating down on my baseball hat.
The air was getting hot, the beer was getting flat.
Looking for a girl, I ran into a guy, name was MCA, I said howdy, he said hi.
He told a little story, the son of well rehearsed. 40's on my run and then he's dying of thirst. Food was in my hand and he was on my tip. Your so-and-so is always right, he asked me for a sip. He said, can I get some? I said, you can get none. Had a chance to run, pulled a shotgun. Quick on the draw, thought I'd be dead. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said. Well, name is MCA, I got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. What do we have here? An outlaw is beer? I run this land, you understand, I'll make myself clear. I'm on the road, off my gun. He told a little story, the son of a rehearsed. 40's in the run and then he's dying of thirst. The brew was in my hand and he was on my tip. His horse is really right, he asked me for a sip. He's like, can I get some? I said, you can't get none. Not a chance I run, pull a shotgun. Pick on the draw, thought I'd be dead. Put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MCA, I got a license to kill. Hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. What do we have here? Outlaw is there. Run us later, when I'm I'll make myself clear. So I'll be, but I don't know, you'll be fine. Just saying high on top of the line. All talk about it, I don't try to hide. Rocky understands you ain't got no pride. You know what's up, and you should know that too. And when we hit the floor, wasted two kids that ran for the door. Mine went through, and I get respect. The casting the jewelry is what I expect. MCA was with it, he's my ace, so I grabbed a damn player and I punched him in the face. Then the player's out, music stopped, boy had 8. He got right, my key, grabbed the money, MCA grabbed the gold, grabbed 2 gold and a beer, let's go. Oh Mandy, you came and you gave without thinking.
What the hell was that? Stick with the rap, okay?
Okay, gee, I was trying to sing Mandy. Right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Pass it back with a brand new invention. Something that'll hold me tightly, flows like a harpoon, daily and nightly. Will never stop, yo. I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll blow to the extreme. I got the mic like a vandal. Light up the stage and work the chump like a candle. Dance with the speakers of boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom. Deadly when I play a low melody. Anything less than the best is the felony. Love it, leave it. Better go away, better hit bowls that a kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook where my P-Drip revolves it. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the beggars are pumping. Quick to the point, no breaking. Cooking MCs like a pound of bacon. Burning them, being quick and nimble. Go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat. With a souped-up tempo, I'm on a roll. Time to go solo, rolling. In my 5.0 with the rack top down so my hair can blow. Skippers on standby, ready to sing high. Bitches stop, no, just rolled on, kept on. Close to the next stop. About the left, I'm headed to the next spot. Buckle did y'all, sucker it to A1A. Detroit Avenue. Girls wear hot, wear less than bikinis. Rock men all driving Lamborghinis. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. She was a gauge and vanilla was a 9. Gunshot, ranged out like a bell. I grabbed a 9 out of her with shells. Falling on the concrete real fast, jumped in my car. Slammed on the gas, bumper to bumper. Avenues packed, trying to get away from the tractors. Jack, police wanna see, you know what I mean? Touch me up in front of the dope fiends. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it. Well, Plato, where's the tip for it? I'm only gonna sing if you tip me. You guys are gonna hate Mary Lou if she sings Mandy, I'll tell you that. Because I don't even know if she... I'll make Mary...
Why would you want her to... Why would you want Mary Lou to sing Mandy? Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Hey, what's going on, Gray? What's going on? Oh my God, this one? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Hey, that's the harmony. What are you doing? Oh my God. Mary Lou was singing the harmony instead of... She must be a highly advanced singer there. She was doing... let's see. Let's see. Let's see if this one...
Yeah, I love this song. I don't know the words, but let's try to do it. Yeah. I remember all my life, raining down as cold as ice. Shadows on them, a face through a window, crying in the night. The night goes into more than just another day. Happy people pass my way. Looking in their eyes, I see a memory. I've never realized how happy you made. Oh man, made. Oh, you came and you made, but I'll take this. Oh, you put away. I can't even do it. Good night, Linda Howell. I told you guys I couldn't sing it, man. I don't even know the words.
Why are you crying? Don't you like to sing, Mary Lou?
I do, but they don't like me when I sing that one. I'm only good at rapping. Gee.
Oh boy, here we go with the G again.
Well, I tried. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go now.
Okay, yeah, okay, you go ahead. Wow. I guess we won't be hearing Mary Lou singing any more just ballads out there, or whatever the hell you want to call them. All right? Wow. Well, how about you, John Boy? You want to try one?
I'll try to do one again.
No, you're too late. It's John Boy now.
Yeah, let me try it. Problems all inside your head, she said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be 50 ways to lose your lover.
Hey, you suck, John Boy. Said it's really not my habit to intrude. The more I'm on the meaning won't be lost or misconstrued, but I'll repeat myself. At the risk of being true, there must be 50 ways to leave your lover. 50 ways to leave your lover. Just slip out the back, make a new plan, stand. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just get yourself free. Hop on the bus, just. You don't need to disguise now. Just hop on the key, leave, and get yourself free. Step out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just listen to me. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to disguise much. Just drop off the key, leave, and get yourself free. She said it grieves me so to see you in such pain. Wish there was something I could do to make you smile again. I said, well, I appreciate that. And would you please explain about the 50 ways? She said, why don't we both just sleep on it tonight? And I believe in the morning you'll begin to see the light. And then she kissed me, and I realized she probably was right. There must be 50 ways to leave your lover. 50 ways to leave your lover. Slip out the back. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just get yourself free. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just strap off the key, leave, and get yourself free. Slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan, Stan. You don't need to be coy, Roy. Just listen to me. Hop on the bus, Gus. You don't need to discuss much. Just strap off the key, leave, and get yourself free. So I'm talking about.
Hey, that was me. You took my song from me.
Well, you suck at it.
Well, you weren't much better there, Mary Lou. You weren't much better. Yeah. Anyways, there you go, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out in the extra time, okay? You know, I actually can sing those better than they could. All right, so forget it. All right, hey, what about that one? How about try? I got one for him. I got one they could do. One more. Hold on. Let's see how they do. What's it called? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know this one. I know this one. I know it's been coming for some time. The plane, it'll rain, it's gonna rain. I know, riding down like water. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down a summer day. Let the days are gone. Sun is cold and rain is gone. I know when that wait for all my time. Double letter on the boat, pull the circle back and go. I know you can't stop my wonder. Have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down a Sunday. I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen the rain? Coming down a Sunday.
Good job there, Mary Lou. I'll give you some credit on that one. Have to give her some credit on that one. She did it pretty good.
Gee, thanks, Gray. That's the first time you ever said anything nice to me.
What do you mean the first time? Ah, forget it. You're terrible, Mary Lou.
Oh, God. You're so mean. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, good night. See you guys tomorrow.